Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Simultaneous Time Travel. Sharing Talents from Jackie Chan Adventures. Chapter 61. Black Hand Mansion. Although I have given Link the authority of the Shadow Core, it is all worth it. I will be resurrected soon. The Holy Lord hummed a tune happily. Just now, it felt that Lope's aura had completely dissipated, and it was obvious that the opponent had been killed by his good disciple. Killing the Lope statue also means that its good disciple will bring back the most important mouse to it. Once the rat charm is in place, it will have more options in the future. You can wait for all 12 talismans to be collected and resurrect in full glory. You can also choose to pay a certain price for forced resurrection. In this way, its attitude towards Link no longer needs to be as humble as before, and it can be much tougher. The day when its Holy Lord will rise is coming soon. Master Holy Lord, I'm back. Just when the Holy Lord was thinking wildly, Link and the Shadow Soldiers suddenly emerged from the shadows and greeted the Holy Lord. Master, Holy Master, the mission you arranged has been successfully completed. Lopez's statue has been completely destroyed. Link casually threw a handful of broken soil in front of the Holy Lord. This is the broken soil that splashed onto Lope's body when he blew himself up. This is evidence of the destruction of Lope's statue. Great, you are truly a good disciple of my Holy Lord. Looking at the fragments of Lope's statue, the Holy Lord said excitedly. Once Lope died, no one in the world could make him feel afraid. It is one step closer to resurrecting and reunifying Asia. So good disciple, where is my rat talisman? Ahem, cough, cough, this is not because I want the talisman as a master, but mainly because I want to quickly teach you the magic of turning silence into movement. Obtaining the rat talisman is an important matter right now. As long as the rat talisman is obtained, even if the remaining talisman cannot be collected, it can still be resurrected. The only difference is the price you need to pay for resurrection. I'm sorry, Master, Holy Master, the rat charm is gone. Faced with the Holy Master's excited tone, Link said calmly. Gone? What's gone? Is it possible that you didn't grab the rat charm? Impossible. With your strength, it's impossible for a mere statue of Lopez to stop you. You must be kidding me, right? Quote. The Holy Master looked at Link, stunned for a moment, and then showed an embarrassed smile. However, when the Holy Master saw that Link's expression remained unchanged, an ominous feeling suddenly filled its heart. Oh, I didn't expect Lope to be so bold. I was about to succeed with the rat talisman, but this guy would rather destroy the rat talisman than give it to me. Link sighed. Tell the Holy Lord everything that happened. What? That guy Lope saw that he couldn't keep the rat talisman, so he used the energy scroll to directly destroy the rat talisman. The Holy Lord's expression became dull, and his red eyes were as lifeless as a real stone statue. It never expected that not only did the rat talisman not come with this trip, but the rat talisman itself was actually destroyed by Lope. Can I still be resurrected? It's impossible to be this stone statue for the rest of your life, right? Just when the Holy Master was in despair, Link slowly walked over with a lollipop in his mouth. Master, Holy Master, don't be too discouraged. Although the body of the talisman is gone, the power of the talisman is still there. As long as you find the animal with the mouse's magical power, you still have a chance to be resurrected. Quote. Although the rat charm has changed from a dead thing to a living thing, it is much more difficult to find, but you can still find it if you want to look for it. That's right, my dear disciple, you are right. The Holy Master took a deep breath and his tone became much calmer. I will leave it to you next. I have prepared the magic corresponding to the remaining 12 spells for you. Since he couldn't get the rat talisman, the Holy Master knew that he still didn't have the qualifications to negotiate terms with Link. Now the only hope for its resurrection can only be placed on Link. Don't worry, Master, Holy Master. Even if you don't tell me, I will help you find the talisman. After all, we have a deep relationship between master and disciple. Facing the Holy Lord's instructions, Link gave a thumbs up and said with a bright smile. Dad's antique shop. While Chen Long was checking ancient books and materials, he translated the ancient writing on the stone that Luo Pei left for them into modern writing. Dad, can we really complete such a complicated magic? Chen Long looked at the rituals and materials that he had just translated into 1/10 of them, and couldn't help but feel dizzy. The magic of Lope's sealing of the Holy Lord is quite complex, requiring not only a righteous master, but also a large number of manpower to assist in its execution. In other words, they still need to provide certain training for the agents in District 13 before they can cast this magic. Dad, Dad, are you asleep? Chen Long shouted many times, but received no response from his father. He was a little worried whether his father had been frightened by what happened during the day. So, he quickly went into the back room to check on his father. As soon as he entered the house, he saw his father sitting in front of the crucible talking. Dad, are you looking for your friends in the magic world? Chen Long asked with some confusion. Seeing the crucible, he knew that his father was contacting some old friends in the magic world. It's just that he doesn't know why his father is looking for him. Oh, is it Chen Long? The father glanced at Chen Long and said slowly, I'm going to ask them if they have any impression of Danzo, the black energy wizard. Asking about Mr. Danzo, Chen Long was stunned. Dad, do you still think there is something wrong with him? Dad nodded. Yes, you remember that Wallen came here with the shadow soldiers during the day, right? I feel that person is not Wulong. As the leading righteous Qi wizard today, Dad can also see Qi in people when he uses magic. Although he had never seen Valon's energy during the day was too similar to the energy he had seen Danzo before. He had reason to suspect that Valon was Danzo in disguise. If Varon is Danzo, what is his purpose? Dad thought silently. He obviously told them before that Lope knew about the Holy Lord's sealing magic, but later he led the Black Shadow Corps to destroy the statue of Lope. This seems to reveal a conflicting feeling of wanting to help the Holy Lord, but not wanting to help completely. Is it possible that he made some kind of agreement with the Holy Lord? He can get certain benefits by helping the Holy Lord resurrect, but he is afraid that the Holy Lord will take action against him after his resurrection, so he wants us to deal with the Holy Lord. Thinking of this, Dad suddenly felt a chill all over his body. If it was as he suspected, then the evil contained in Danzo, a black energy wizard, was extraordinary. The other party not only used them, but even the legendary insidious, cunning and scheming Holy Lord was played by him. It's so scary. Why is it said that the Shadow Soldiers are the best migrant worker group? Not because of how strong they are, nor how handsome they look. Mainly because they are versatile and can do any job. This morning, as soon as Link opened his eyes, he saw that the Shadow Soldiers had already prepared toiletries and breakfast. Without Link having to speak, the caring Shadow Soldiers turned into servants and helped Link complete everything. Link also experienced the beauty of a wave of nobles under the other party's service. I don't know if these Shadow Soldiers are born with these skills, or if they were later cultivated by the leaders of the gang. In short, I am taking advantage of this. Enjoying the perfect service from the Shadow Soldiers, Link nodded with satisfaction. This is a part-time job group that can fight, serve, and is on standby 24 hours a day. It's not something you can get with just money. It can only be said that the Holy Master has a kind heart and is actually willing to give him such a perfect Black Shadow Corps. And it's not just the Black Shadow Corps that has been harvested recently, Valon and the others also brought back this. With that said, Link slowly took out the horse, dog, and monkey charms from his pocket. It turns out that the Black Hand Gang Quartet are indeed the best of the best. Without the obstruction of Chen Long and others, their actions were extremely efficient. In just a few days, they recovered the horse charm from a house in the snowy mountains. Not only that, Wallen even found a dog charm from a group of windmills in Bavaria and a monkey charm from the sea. As a result, apart from the rat talisman, which was destroyed by Lope, and the chicken talisman and sheep talisman, which were taken away by Chen Long, only the tiger talisman is left and there is still no news about it. Although the dog's immortality and the monkey's transformation are also very good, the tiger talisman is the one I want most. Link was a little helpless. The tiger talisman seems to have no effect in the original work, and its performance is only to divide Chen Long into good and evil people. But in fact, the yin and yang balance magic corresponding to the tiger talisman is the key to freely using the talisman magic. If there is no tiger talisman corresponding to the yin and yang balance magic, then Link will have no way to adjust the conflict between the various talisman magic. At most one spell can be used at the same time. Only by acquiring the yin and yang balance magic can he cast multiple talisman magic at the same time, thus maximizing the power of the talisman magic. Dong dong dong. Link was thinking about the tiger talisman when there was a knock on the door of his room. Link walked over, opened the door and saw that the person outside was Valone. "What's the matter, Mr. Link? The Holy Master wants you to go to his place," Valen said respectfully. For some reason, he felt that Link's aura became more mysterious after not seeing him for a few days. Although he has never learned magic, he has been in the dark world for many years. It is naturally impossible to say that he knows nothing about magic. The change in Link's aura can easily make him think that his magical attainments have broken through again. Perhaps now that the boss has the ability to help solve the problems that the Black Hand Gang has encountered recently. Valone felt Link's mysterious aura, and his eyes suddenly lit up. Since getting the green beard gloves and opening a technology company, the money of their Black Hand Gang has been growing as if they are procreating. This is undoubtedly a happy thing. However, they make too much money. Such a profitable business will inevitably encounter the prying eyes of some people. Recently, Valone's mechanical parts factories and assembly plants located across the country have received a lot of malicious retaliation from competitors. Among them, there is a group of extraordinary forces eyeing them. This group of extraordinary forces are a group of magicians. They attacked the factory and disguised it as a natural accident, making Valone miserable. It is true that their Black Hand Gang does have a lot of energy, but they are still somewhat powerless in the face of extraordinary forces. At the moment, only Link can help him tide over the difficulties. "Mr. Link, the company needs your help. Those magicians can control the lightning sphere, which is not something ordinary people can deal with." After Valone informed Link of the recent attack on the company's factory, he said with a pleading expression. Listening to Valone's complaining words, Link realized that the company's properties had been frequently attacked by a group of mysterious mages recently. And the other party also threatened them to hand over a protection fee, otherwise they would continue to attack the factory. "A magician who can master the lightning ball." Link frowned. Valone's description reminded him of the group of magicians who stole Stonehenge in the extra chapter of the original book. The other party's base camp seems to be in the country of Yu, and they have a considerable background. Their people are everywhere in the city. This group of magicians firmly believes that Stonehenge has powerful magic power, and wants to use Stonehenge to destroy the world and regress the world's technology back to the Dark Ages. In this way, they, the magicians, could rule the world. In the original work, they did activate Stonehenge, but that Stonehenge was not a weapon capable of destroying the world, but a UFO signal transmitter. Isn't it because they think that our company's production of high-tech machinery will prevent the world from returning to the Dark Ages, so they are attacking us? Thinking of the founding purpose of the Magic Association, Link was speechless. The Holy Lord failed to turn the world back to the Dark Ages, so how could he succeed with those scumbags? You know, in the original book, there were so many people in their Magic Association, but their magic was easily cancelled by their father with a spell on the phone. It can be seen that the level of these magicians is probably half-baked. In any case, since the other party dared to attack his company, Link must teach them a lesson. "I understand. In this case, I will let the shadow soldiers follow you to Ying country. Those magicians must pay the price they deserve." Link waved his hand, and a large number of shadow soldiers appeared beside Valone. With the three-legged cat skills of those magicians, there is no need for Link to go there in person. In his opinion, the Shadow Army, a group of high-quality workers, is enough to deal with those magicians. "Thank you, Mr. Link." Seeing that Link actually summoned the shadow soldiers, Valone's face lit up immediately. As the leader of the world's largest gang, the Black Hand Gang, he naturally knew the value and strength of the Shadow Corps. This is an elite force that is immortal, never feels tired, and has mastered the skills of using various weapons. Even the most elite troops in the Black Hand Gang are not as good as the shadow soldiers. With the help of this Shadow Corps, isn't it easy for him to deal with a group of magicians who can only generate electricity? After sending away Valone, who couldn't wait to seek revenge on those magicians, Link followed the other party's instructions and came to the top room of the Black Hand building where the Holy Lord was. "Master Holy Lord, what do you want from me?" Link asked, putting on the air of a good apprentice. Both he and the Holy Master knew in their hearts that the relationship between the two was actually mutual use. Even if there is a master-disciple relationship, it's just too big a deal. However, after all, the Holy Lord still has something he needs. Therefore, it is necessary to maintain the superficial harmony between the two. Link, you're here. The Holy Master looked at Link, whose aura became more and more mysterious, and felt a little complicated for a moment. Unlike Valone, who is a mortal, as a demon wizard, he can intuitively feel that Link's magical attainments are getting deeper and deeper, and he has even vaguely reached the level of an archmage. If the other party doesn't cheat you, just help yourself resurrect honestly. Then if it is resurrected and rules Asia again, what's the harm in giving it a title of Prime Minister? It's a pity that there are no ifs in the world. The Holy Master is not so generous to this disciple who cheated even one of his resurrection methods. He must pay the price from now on. Good disciple, it seems that your magic skills have improved a lot recently. It's not in vain to serve as my teacher. The Holy Lord wanted to say that his general teachings were not in vain. But after thinking about it carefully, it seemed that except for the first year, which he put a lot of effort into, the rest of the time was spent on Link's own cultivation. What makes him even more embarrassed is that in the first year when he taught him most carefully, Link's training speed was like a tortoise crawling. On the contrary, after it didn't teach Link seriously in the past few months, the other party's magical attainments improved by leaps and bounds, as if he had an epiphany. In this way, its teachings seemed to have a negative effect. No matter how shameless the Holy Lord is, it is still embarrassed to say that the reason why Link became so strong is due to his teachings. Ahem, it was not in vain that I handed over the original dragon tooth to you as a master. Now it has become so powerful. The Holy Master coughed a few times and reluctantly found a suitable reason. The future is the future, and the present is now. Even if it takes 30 years to the east and 30 years to the west in the future, if you don't bully the devil, Link will have to pay the price. That will be in the future. Now it still has to talk to Link as a mentor and helpful friend. Link nodded, and there was a wave of business exchanges. That's natural. If it weren't for the teachings of the Holy Master, my disciple, I wouldn't have such strength. Well, that's true. Since Link said so, the Holy Master also agreed. At least Link's 12 talisman magic was taught by him, and he even gave him his dragon scales and teeth to help him practice. All in all, the Holy Lord has a clear conscience. My good disciple, I heard that you found the talisman that my master needs. Why haven't you given it to me yet? After chatting for a few words, the Holy Master went straight to the topic. Oh, that's not to say that my disciple has been busy with the things you arranged recently and forgot about it. After hearing this, Link patted his head and immediately stuffed the dog talisman and monkey talisman into the grooves of the Holy Lord's statue. As the two talismans returned to their positions, a comfortable current instantly filled the Holy Master's entire body. He couldn't help but exclaim, "It feels so good. Master Holy Lord, I have already given you the talisman. Should you also teach me the immortality magic and transformation magic corresponding to dogs and monkeys?" Link said with a smile. The transmutation magic corresponding to the monkey charm is not that helpful to it. After all, he himself mastered the art of transformation. The difference between this art and the magic of change is that one is a blinding method and the other is a real change. Unless you meet an expert, you won't be able to tell the difference. But the immortality magic corresponding to the dog charm is a good magic. This magic can not only give the mage eternal vitality, but also give him unlimited lifespan and the ability to stay young forever. Wait a minute, if I remember correctly, good disciple, you should have a horse charm in your hand, right? Why don't you give it to me? The Holy Master did not answer Link's question. Instead, he stared at his red eyes and spoke to Link in a slightly dangerous tone. Link's sudden action of only giving the dog charm and the monkey charm but not the horse charm instantly aroused its suspicion. The somewhat rusty brain that had been worn down by the years was forced to work and discuss as if a bucket of lubricating oil had been poured into it. Usually when this kid wants to get something out of himself, he will do something like this. It was like this when the ox talisman was cast, and it was also like this when the dragon talisman was cast. Oh, I just want to use the horse charm to help the company do some business, and I will definitely give it to you when the time comes. And Master Holy Lord, if you guessed correctly, the immortal magic corresponding to this dog talisman should also be the original magic of the devil, right? Quote. Link smiled maliciously at the Holy Lord. Upon hearing Link's words, the Holy Lord suddenly felt sweat flowing from the gaps in its stone statue. Link is right. This dog talisman's immortality magic is indeed one of their demon's original magics. After all, there has never been any black energy wizard in this world who can be immortal. The most he can do is extend his lifespan. Only demons can be immortal. Good disciple, you don't want Ryuga as your master to practice immortal magic again, do you? The voice of the Holy Lord trembled when he spoke. It doesn't have many dragon teeth left, so it can't give them away. Don't worry, Master Saint. I have already absorbed one of your dragon teeth, so I have already obtained part of your essence. Naturally, I don't need you to give me another dragon tooth. Link smiled and said, that's good. Before the Master Saint heard that Link didn't want to take its dragon teeth anymore, he didn't have time to breathe a sigh of relief, and the next moment Link changed his tone again. But Master Saint, the little essence of the dragon teeth used to practice the energy magic of the dragon spell has already consumed a lot, so I still want to ask you for some dragon scales to help me practice immortal magic. What, you want my dragon scales again? The Master Saint's voice increased again. Could it be that Master Saint dislikes the fact that the dragon scales contain too little essence, so he wants to give me his resurrected dragon teeth? Link's eyes suddenly turned red. Seeing Link's appearance, the Master Saint suddenly felt that something was wrong. If he continued to talk, I was afraid that my dragon tooth would really be lost. Stop, stop, stop. I just helped you think about it. The essence contained in my dragon scales is enough for you to practice. If it is not enough, you can ask me for more. After saying that, the Holy Lord shook his body repeatedly and shook off a lot of stone debris on his body. Although losing these stone and dragon scales is also a big sacrifice for the Holy Lord. But compared to losing the dragon tooth, this ending is already quite good. Master Holy Lord, you are so good. In the future, I will definitely help you find the talisman more attentively and strive to help you revive as soon as possible. Link wiped the tears that were forced to fall from the corners of his eyes, but he secretly said in his heart, no wonder. Such a good master with extraordinary materials all over his body, he doesn't want to lose it so soon. After obtaining immortality magic and transformation magic from the Holy Lord, Link immediately returned to his magic room and began to practice these two magics. Among them, the transformation magic corresponding to the monkey talisman was almost not difficult for Link to practice and he could complete it quickly. Just because of the difference in strength, Link's changes can only be used on himself. It is far from being able to affect other living beings like the genuine monkey charm. Originally, Link thought that change magic had no effect. In fact, it was only after he truly mastered the magic of change that he discovered the horror of the magic of change. Even in his mind, the transformation magic corresponding to the monkey talisman should be ranked high among the 12 talismans. Because this magic can not only transform into ordinary creatures, in theory, as long as there is enough mana and insights into this magic, even extraordinary creatures can also change. Vampires, werewolves, snow monsters, sheep-eating beasts, and even evil dragons may not be impossible to change. The magic that can change the genes of living things is really terrifying. It is precisely because Link has vaguely touched the level of the Archmage that he feels that this magic is really powerful. It's no wonder that the Holy Lord dares to claim that he is the most powerful black energy wizard in history. Being able to master such a large number of powerful magics, who is the strongest black energy wizard in history, if not the Holy Lord? In addition to transformation magic, the immortality magic corresponding to the dog talisman is also a good thing, but it is obviously much more difficult to practice. Even though I have taken dragon teeth before, and the Holy Lord also gave me a lot of dragon scales, the source is still insufficient. It is not so much that I have cultivated immortal magic, but rather that I have cultivated life magic. Judging from the current situation, my lifespan has probably been extended to about 300 years. Although this lifespan is not worth mentioning for an immortal demon, it is already longer than many Archmage-level black energy wizards in history. And in addition to lifespan, the strong vitality provided by this magic is also very useful. It can improve the ability to recover quickly after some injuries. The only trouble is that I don't have the tiger talisman, so I can't balance the conflicting forces, so I can't use magic freely. Link muttered to himself. Although he now has mastered the 7 spells of extreme speed, great strength, invisibility, energy, change, immortality, and laser eyes, he cannot use them freely because he does not have the yin and yang balance magic. This is equivalent to a total of 7 powers for him, but without the yin and yang balance magic, he can only use 1 power at a time. And once he obtains the yin and yang balance magic, he can use 7 powers at the same time, and his actual combat ability will instantly soar. It seems that we still need to find the tiger talisman as soon as possible and get the yin and yang balance magic. Dad's antique shop. After about a week of translation, the ancient text that Lope left behind to seal the Holy Lord's magic has been deciphered by Chen Long. Dad couldn't help but feel a headache when he saw the magic request. This is not only a test for him, but also a test for Chen Long, Xiao Yu, and even the Dragon Team and the agents of District 13. Chen Long, have you made an appointment with someone to learn the auxiliary rituals of magic? Dad asked loudly. Dad, I have asked Chief Black to find someone. In addition to the agents from District 13, the Ox Warriors and Snakes you requested are also willing to come and help. Chen Long said slowly. Because Link changed the plot, Chen Long did not have as much contact with the two as in the original work. The extent of his acquaintance with Niu Warrior was that he only had some simple conversations with the person who took away his mask after his mask was taken away. In the original work, the situation of no acquaintance without fighting did not happen at all. As for Little Snake, the reason why Chen Long knew her was because he went to the museum and planned to explain the destruction of the Lope statue to the museum director. As a result, it was at this time that he discovered that the Little Snake was stealing the museum's collection. Chen Long, who had a sense of justice, naturally did not allow this kind of thing to happen under his nose, so he hurriedly stepped forward to stop it, and eventually fought with the Little Snake several times. The reason why Chen Long mentioned these 2 people in particular was mainly because these 2 people were the people that his father named and asked for help. In the words of the father, the 2 of them are the objects of support for the righteousness of this era, and they are also one of the key figures in the fight against the Black Energy Camp. The addition of the other party can increase the success rate of sealing the Holy Lord's magic to a certain extent. According to records in ancient books, even geniuses such as the ancient Saint Lope also relied on the help of other people who were supported by righteousness in that era. After going through all the hardships and even paying a huge price, the Holy Lord was sealed into a statue. Even if Lope is resurrected, he may not be able to seal the Holy Lord again. Although Dad is very confident in his magical attainments, what they need to face is the legendary Holy Lord, a demon monarch. They probably only have one chance to use the magic that seals the Holy Lord. Once the first seal fails and the Holy Master becomes more wary in the future, the difficulty of their seal will be greatly increased. By then, the future of the Holy Lord ruling Asia again will be unstoppable. So as long as it can increase the possibility of sealing the Holy Lord, Dad will not let it go. Not only did it increase the success rate of sealing the Holy Lord, Dad even prepared a preliminary plan for the failure of sealing the Holy Lord. He planned to find a suitable successor for himself. Only in this way, after his failure or even death, can mankind have a chance to turn the tables. Xiao Yu, come here, the old man shouted to Xiao Yu, who was reciting words on the side. Dad, you looking for me? Seeing that the old man was looking for him, Xiao Yu ran over with a hop. She almost vomited from reciting words just now, and now she can touch the fish for a while. Xiao Yu, I want to test your magic talent. The old man looked at Xiao Yu with a complicated expression. Unlike Chen Long, who treated Xiao Yu as a childish child, the old man's attitude towards Xiao Yu was that he saw a plastic talent. He could not only see Xiao Yu's usual cleverness, but also saw the strong righteousness in her. This righteousness is a bit like the righteousness of the legendary Saint Seiya described in ancient books. If the old man's guess is correct, perhaps Xiao Yu is the contemporary Saint Seiya. Xiao Yu, who has such righteousness, may not be able to defeat the Holy Lord, but there is no doubt that her chance of defeating the Holy Lord is undoubtedly the greatest. It is precisely because of this that Dad decided to test Xiao Yu's magic aptitude. In this way, even if he fails to seal the Holy Lord in the future or is even killed by the other party, Xiao Yu, who has learned magic, will still have the opportunity to break the Holy Lord's rule. Ha ha ha, Boss Link. The matter with the magician of the country has been successfully resolved. Those magicians are worse than I thought. They seem to only know the magic of releasing electric balls. I didn't even let the shadow soldiers use hot weapons. I just killed their boss with the cold weapons they brought with them. I contacted Interpol to arrest the remaining magicians. I think those guys should have learned a sufficient lesson and will not continue to provoke us in the future. It was those magicians who burned a hole in my high-end green suit. Alas, now I lost another 10,000 meters of gold. On the other end of the phone, Valen chattered. Obviously, Valona was quite satisfied with this action of his. In this operation, he also had a clearer understanding of Link's current methods. Even if the magic mastered by Link is not included, this group of shadow soldiers alone is a very objective combat power. It can help them deal with most of the troubles. This time he only brought about 100 shadow soldiers, and they defeated an extraordinary organization with many magicians entrenched in the country of Yu. If Link himself takes action, I'm afraid not many people or extraordinary organizations can resist it. The reason why this operation went so smoothly is thanks to Boss Link's Shadow Corps, otherwise those magicians would definitely not be willing to give in. At this moment, Valone once again lamented that his decision to join Link was probably the most correct decision he had ever made in his life. The other party not only allowed him to have money, but also gave him enough power to protect his property. Valone knew very well that if he had not chosen to join Link, no matter how much money he had, he couldn't deal with this group of extraordinary organizations because he only had the Black Hand Gang in his hands, and naturally he couldn't protect his property. It can be said that without Link, nothing like this would be possible. Therefore, his words to Link were full of respect. Okay, Valone, you have repeated this matter 2 or 3 times. I already know that you have protected our company, and you have performed very well. But now I need your help to continue looking for the talisman. What I want to know is information about the talisman. Quote. Link himself didn't care too much about the matters at the Magic Association. After all, the level of those magicians is obvious to all in the original work. They obviously have so many magicians, but they were defeated by Dad casting a spell over the phone. It can be seen that most of these magicians have just reached the level of official magicians, and only the leader of that group of magicians can slightly touch the threshold of elite magicians. With such strength, it is simply ridiculous to resist the heavily armed shadow soldiers. Therefore, Wallen's success itself was within Link's expectation and not surprising. And all he wants to think about now is to find the Tiger Talisman as soon as possible and learn the Yin and Yang balance magic as soon as possible, so that his strength can be fully utilized as soon as possible. Boss, although I really want to help you find the talisman, the world is so big, even with a talisman tracker it will take some time. Valone said with an aggrieved look. Previously, Link had told him the places where the last 2 spells might appear based on his memory of the original work. The exact location of the Tiger Talisman is unknown, only that it is on a farm in North America. And if the mouse with the magical power of the mouse charm is still the same one in the original plot. In theory, the other party should be in a mine near a town called La Plata. In these places, Willong has sent his most trusted trio of Lasso and Black Tiger AFU to check the situation. It just took a while to give Link an answer. Okay, you can continue your work. Lasso and the others have also worked hard. When the time comes, you can arrange a salary increase for them. Plus now the green beard gloves are yours. If you behave well in the future, I can even help you refine a red beard glove with the same functions as the green beard glove. Quote. Link continued to seduce. Since his breakthrough in magic, he has been able to refine some simple magic items on his own. Not to mention the green-bearded gloves that he had already studied to perfection. What? 2 green-beard gloves? Upon hearing Link's words, Valone's eyes on the other end of the phone lit up like a light bulb. With 2 green-beard gloves, the money-making efficiency is not directly doubled, but the happiness is doubled. Boss Link, you are so good to me. Wolong let out a cry and almost cried. No wonder he was so excited. The main reason is that their family has been serving the Holy Lord for generations over the years, but instead of making a penny, they have been investing all the time, completely losing their originally strong family fortune. On the other hand, Link would not only provide them with funds, but would even help them in time when they encountered any difficulties. It seems that the company encountered blackmail this time, and Link handed the Black Shadow soldiers to him to help him solve the problem. How could the gap between this man and the devil be so big? If anything, Valone still had the thought of betraying Link for more money. Now he plans to serve Link wholeheartedly. After all, after experiencing this magician blackmail incident, Wallen felt that making money is indeed important, but being able to keep your money is equally important. If he wanted to protect his property, he had to hug Link's thigh tightly. Otherwise, with the little power of his Black Hand gang, how could he fight against those evil extraordinary organizations? You deserve these. Keep looking for the spell, Link said. Link still values Valone quite highly. Although Valone is immortal and has never learned magic, he is favored by the black energy. He is the only strong man who can complete the legendary task of keeping an eye on Xiaoyu. The man who is known as the Little Jade Treasure has special existence value and is worth cultivating. And even without this level of relationship, the other party's treasure hunting traits are quite practical. After collecting the talismans, Link also plans to let them go around the world to collect magic props like Greenbeard's gloves. After all, the only talismans left outside are the Rat and Tiger talismans. With Valone's efficiency and progress, it won't take long to collect them all. I just don't know how my father's research on the magic of sealing the Holy Lord is going. This is the key to whether I can ensure my own safety in the future. Quote. Link muttered to himself. He knew the Holy Lord's bad temper all too well. The moment he cheated his dragon teeth and dragon scales, he would definitely not be able to escape the other party's future reckoning. The best and safest way is to use Dad's hand to seal the Holy Lord. Therefore, he must ensure that the other party's sealing Holy Lord magic can be mastered smoothly. No, I still have to go over and see the situation for myself. 8 o'clock the next day. Link had transformed into Danzo and arrived at the entrance of his father's antique store, greeting his father, Chen Long, and Xiaoyu one by one. Dad, Chen Long, how is the research on Lope's sealing magic going? Mr. Danzo, you are here. Chen Long smiled and said to Link, it's not bad. It was quite successful during the rehearsal. Although his father had said before that there might be something wrong with Danzo, Chen Long didn't think so, or he didn't care that much. In the original work, even when faced with Toru, who was definitely a bad guy, Chen Long was still willing to spend energy trying to persuade him. Facing Mr. Danzo, who did nothing bad, Chen Long would naturally not show a bad attitude. Duanzo, why are you here again? Who are you? Unlike Chen Long's good attitude, his father's expression was a little complicated. Even with the help of his connections in the magic world, Dad couldn't find out Danzo's true identity. You must know that as long as a person lives in the world, it is impossible not to leave traces. Especially people in the magic world often need to purchase all kinds of strange materials, but none of the merchants who sell rare materials in the black market of the magic world have ever seen Danzo. As a result, Dad even suspected that not only Valone's previous identity was false, but even Danzo's identity may not be true. Old goat, don't be so excited. Link said in a relaxed tone, at any rate, I also told you how to get the sealed Holy Lord. Is it helpful to you to some extent? Is this what you called old goat? Dad frowned slightly. He always felt that Danzo was extremely familiar with him. Now he is called the old goat. In the past, it was known that he mastered the production of potions that can extract spells from the Holy Lord. So when you come here this time, are you just trying to take credit from Dad? Or do you want to have a fight with Dad like we did the second time we met? Dad casually took out the dried puffer fish and dried lizard, and the green fluorescence faintly appeared. Others may not know it clearly, but Dad is sure that the Valone who brought the shadow soldiers to the antique store to cause trouble was the same person as Danzo in front of him. It was after that incident that my father spent a lot of time researching righteous magic specifically used to deal with modern technology by searching for various ancient books. He couldn't wait to fight the shadow soldiers in Link's hands. Sorry, old goat, my memory is not very good now that I'm old. How can I remember that this is our first meeting? Link pretended to be innocent and said, "Is it possible, old goat, that you are discriminating against us black energy wizards? Do you think we don't make our own contribution to justice?" In fact, Link was also surprised when he heard his father say that this was the second time they met. After all, he had only used Danzo's vest once. When they met for the second time, Link still used the identity of Valone. In other words, Dad may have discovered that Danzo's vest and Valone's vest are actually the same person. However, the good thing is that even if Dad knew that Danzo was Valone, he would have no evidence to prove it. As long as Link pretends to be stupid, the other party will have nothing to do with him. "Dad, we are in a beautiful country now, so we cannot mention discrimination," Qianlong whispered to his father from the side. Although in their era, the discrimination against various genders, races, occupations, etc. has not reached such an obsessive level. But there are still various anti-discrimination demonstrations, but there are not so many. If possible, Qianlong hopes that his father will not get involved to avoid getting into trouble. "Okay, old goat, I'm here for two things this time. The first thing is to see how your magic practice of sealing the Holy Lord is going. The second thing is, I brought you some materials from the Holy Lord to see if they will help you seal magic." Quote. Link stared at his father with a smile and said, "Old goat, you don't mind the help of a black energy wizard like me, do you?" "Don't mind," Dad said through gritted teeth. He has lived in the beautiful country for a long time, so he naturally knows that discrimination can be a big or small matter. The best thing is to guarantee due respect on the surface. "That's fine, it's getting late, so I'll leave first." Link handed the extra gravel in his hand to his father, waved to everyone, and turned to leave. That old guy named Danzo, can he still get materials from the Holy Master? Xiaoyu looked at the gravel in his father's hand and said with surprise. She and her father have been practicing magic for a week. He also knows a lot about magic. For example, if the sealing magic developed specifically for the Holy Lord has part of the opponent's body material, it can really increase the success rate of the seal. Could it be that the black energy wizard named Danzo is really a good person? An intersection not far from Dad's antique shop. Link had returned to his original appearance and asked the shadow soldiers on the side, "Have you investigated Qianlong's physical data?" After hearing this, the shadow soldiers handed over Qianlong's body data that they had just drawn and calculated to Link. "Perfect. You did a great job." After briefly checking the data, Link gave the ultimate praise to the shadow soldiers. The shadow soldiers touched their heads when they heard the praise, and seemed a little embarrassed. For these dark creatures with simple intelligence, obeying the orders of their superiors is a matter of course. It is their duty to complete the task, and they will be scolded if they fail to complete the task. This is the first time they have heard words of praise for them. Even the shadow generals at that time did not praise them. At this moment, Link's favorability in the hearts of the shadow soldiers has increased again. "Very good. With these data, I can go to District 13. Link smiled slightly. According to the data provided by the shadow soldiers, a figure that is 99% similar to the original Qianlong appeared in the original place. Such a level of refinement is probably not even seen by Xiaoyu and Daddy, who live with Qianlong day and night. Now it's time to sneak into District 13 and get the talisman back." Link looked at Qianlong's face in the mirror and smiled with satisfaction. Now Valone is looking for the last few talismans that are scattered outside, and he also tries to take out the chicken talisman and the sheep talisman protected by District 13. As the safest place in the United States, Link guessed that the security facilities in District 13 should be quite good. After all, he doesn't have Xiaoyu's skill of walking upstairs. If he wants to sneak into District 13, there is a high possibility of failure. Therefore, Link asked the Black Shadow soldiers to collect Qianlong's detailed physical data to ensure that the disguise is foolproof. Next, he will turn into Qianlong and go to District 13 to steal the remaining talismans. California, San Francisco, District 13. Since Sheriff Black took office, District 13 has stood out among the 13 agent districts. It is known as the district that catches criminals the fastest and has the safest security system. And such a heavily guarded place is naturally difficult for outsiders to enter, right? Link didn't know if he was an outsider to District 13. When he came in, the agents in District 13 would greet him warmly. "How is Qianlong recently?" Chen Long, we are already working hard to learn the magic ritual of sealing the Holy Lord, and we will learn it soon. Listening to the friendly greetings of the agents around him, he even took the initiative to help swipe the card to open the door. Link couldn't help but nod slightly, thinking to himself. The agents in District 13 are quite friendly. It seems that I can come here often to relax. I just wonder if my father will set up the righteous magic here. Then I'll send you here. If you need anything, just take it yourself. With the friendly help of the agents in District 13, Link came to the storage place of the talisman without any obstacles. Originally, he thought that he might be discovered by those well-trained agents, and then violently intercept the talisman. However, what he didn't expect was that not only were the agents in District 13 not prepared at all, but they also opened the door directly for them. Chen Long is at most your special operations consultant, right? According to the regulations, can he come directly to the storage place of the talisman without routine inspection? Link was full of question marks about the actions of the agents in District 13. It seems that in the original book, Xiaoyu was able to sneak into District 13 very smoothly, not only relying on her own righteousness to protect her body, but also relying on her magical skill of walking up the stairs to hide. What's more, the agents in District 13 are somewhat unprofessional. Forget it, anyway, it's convenient for me to start working after getting the talisman. Link stuffed the chicken talisman and the sheep talisman into his arms with ease. At this moment, a majestic middle-aged male voice suddenly came from behind. Why are you here, Chen Long? Link turned his head to find the voice. I saw a big bald man in a black windbreaker walking over with a smile on his face and patted Link on the shoulder. It turned out to be Sheriff Black. I came here to get the talisman according to my father's instructions. Link said calmly on the surface, but he had begun to be alert in his heart. Although Sheriff Black looked silly in the original book, he was a man who could sit firmly in the top position of District 13. Maybe he was not as silly as he was shown in the animation. What's more, he and Chen Long were close friends for 20 years, and their relationship was far beyond that of ordinary agents. In fact, at this moment, Link was ready to be discovered by Sheriff Black and then make a scene in District 13. However, Sheriff Black's next words really caught him off guard. Since it's Dad's request, you must take it quickly, or I'll drive you back. Hearing Sheriff Black's words, Link wanted to laugh at the fact that the other party didn't notice anything wrong, but soon he thought of another possibility. That is, Sheriff Black has already discovered that something is wrong with him, but because of his lack of strength, it's not easy to attack him directly. Maybe now he has already started to ask people to encircle him. If that's the case, then I want to try it out. How powerful are these high-tech weapons? Link's eyes flashed with a light. As the saying goes, the more skilled, the more courageous. He also wanted to try out how powerful the technological weapons in the world of Chen Long's adventures are. Forget it, I'll go back by myself. Your current task is to hurry up and practice the magic ritual of sealing the Lord as soon as possible. Link pretended to be serious and said, I'll do it now. Faced with Link's instructions, Sheriff Black responded nervously. A person cannot be talented in all fields. In terms of special agent techniques such as fighting and information technology, Sheriff Black can confidently say that he has mastered most of them. But in terms of magic rituals, Sheriff Black doesn't know why he can't remember them. It's just some simple movements, but he makes mistakes frequently during rehearsals. So when Chen Long mentioned the magic ritual, he smiled awkwardly and went to practice immediately. He just left like that. Link looked at Sheriff Black, who ran away in a hurry, and his face was immediately full of confusion. It seems that he really didn't find his problem, and the previous calculations were all made up by his own mind. Link walked out in a daze, and no agent came to stop him along the way. As he left District 13, the agents still helped him open the doors with a smile. Until Link walked out of District 13 safely, no one noticed that he was wrong. Is this the safest District 13? The corners of Link's mouth twitched slightly, but it was always a good thing to get the talisman. In this way, he can exchange 2 talisman magics from the Lord. At night, Dad's antique shop. I finally collected all the materials needed for magic, and I also bought back the small dried pufferfish that Xiaoyu needs to practice magic. Chen Long yawned and lay on the bed with a tired look on his face. These days, he is very busy. During the day, he translated ancient books in the shop and helped agents in District 13 practice magic rituals. At night, he had to drive to a special black market that was only open at night to buy all kinds of magic materials he needed, and he was almost exhausted. Fortunately, it's all over. Actually, if you think about it, the chicken and sheep talismans are stored in the safest area of 13 and cannot be taken away. How could the Holy Master get all the talismans and resurrect them? Chen Long pinched his extremely sore neck and was about to turn off the lights and go to sleep when the phone suddenly rang. It's so late, who is it? Chen Long complained, but dragged his exhausted body to the phone and said in a gentle tone. Hello, this is Dad's antique store. The store is closed. If you have any questions, we can talk about it tomorrow. As he spoke, he was about to hang up the phone and go to bed. The next moment, Chief Black's words came over the phone, which made him confused. Chen Long, should the charms you took away this afternoon be sent back to District 13? Chief Black, what charm did I take? Chen Long said with some confusion. In the afternoon, he was still in the store checking whether there were any translation errors in the magic that sealed the Holy Lord, and he never left the house. There is no time or reason to go to District 13 to get the talisman. It's the chicken talisman and the sheep talisman. Didn't you say Dad needs those two talismans? Chief Black obviously didn't expect Chen Long's answer, and he was a little confused. Chief Black, I didn't tell you that I was at Dad's antique shop all afternoon. Realizing that something was wrong with the situation, Chen Long became a little nervous. Chief Black, isn't the charm stolen? Master Shengju, are you touched? Your good disciple, I have brought back 2 more talismans for you. Link held the chicken talisman in his left hand, the sheep talisman in his right hand, and a horse talisman in his pocket, swinging them back and forth in front of the Shengju. For a while, he wanted to put the talisman into the groove of the statue, and then he retracted his hand. Link, why don't you give me the talisman quickly? Looking at the talisman that was so close but could not be touched, the Shengju was so angry that his eyes were glowing red. Give it to you, of course I will. Looking at the body of the Shengju statue gradually becoming red and warm. Link smiled slightly, knowing that the Shengju was gradually reaching the edge of anger. He simply stuffed the newly obtained chicken and sheep, as well as the horse obtained earlier, into the groove of the Shengju statue. After the 3 talismans of chicken, sheep and horse were returned to their positions at once, the Shengju could not help but feel a sense of comfort, and the majestic power directly and madly poured into his body. Now it is a very powerful statue. Lope, I have collected 10 talismans, but I still can't be resurrected. The Lord was so angry that he felt his body was still like a quagmire. As expected, without the most important mouse, he still couldn't break free from the shackles of the statue. My good disciple, there are only 2 talismans left for my master to be resurrected. Wait until you help me collect the remaining 2 talismans. I will not only teach you the magic corresponding to the talismans, but even give you a prime minister position after unifying Asia. Seeing that he was about to be resurrected, the Lord was extremely excited and painted a big pie for Link. It has been 900 years since it turned into a stone statue, and it has finally seen the hope of resurrection until now. In fact, when it was just sealed, the Lord didn't take it seriously. It's nothing more than being sealed as a stone statue, at least it's still in this world. It's better than those brothers and sisters who were betrayed by it staying in hell and living comfortably. At that time, the Holy Lord even felt that he would be resurrected soon by relying on the Black Shadow soldiers in his hands and the Golden Rooster King's treasure as a temptation to attract humans to help him find the talisman. Unexpectedly, after 900 years, he didn't collect any talismans. It was not until more than a year ago that Link appeared and found the talismans one by one. Its hard days are finally coming to an end. Master Holy Lord, I have no interest in the position of Prime Minister. Why don't you give me some of your evil dragons? Facing the big cake drawn by the Holy Lord, Link said speechlessly. Let's not talk about the truth of the Holy Lord's words and me, Qin Shi Huang, who is more profitable. Even this big cake doesn't suit his appetite. It feels like they have been together for so long, but the Holy Lord still doesn't understand his thoughts. What's the use of a prime minister? It's better to give him some special extraordinary materials. Who, don't you know that they are all my clan blood relatives, beloved relatives and friends? The Holy Lord couldn't help but raise his voice. But it soon realized something and whispered back, if you can bring the rat and tiger talismans back to me as soon as possible, then I can consider it. Quote. Link looked at the Holy Lord with some disdain. It seems that the status of those evil dragon minions in the Holy Lord's mind may not be much higher than that of his brothers and sisters. To put it bluntly, as long as the benefits are in place, this guy is really willing to do anything. Master Holy Lord, I can only say that I will help you find it as soon as possible, but I dare not guarantee whether I can find it. After all, you also know that the rat talisman has been blown up by Lope. The difficulty of finding a dead object and a living object is completely different. Link said calmly. He did not doubt the treasure-hunting ability of Wallen and others, but he himself did not dare to guarantee when he could find the talisman. He was not even sure whether Chen Long would start his journey to collect talismans again because of the previous theft of the talisman. If Chen Long also participated in it, then Wallen and others' road to collecting talismans would probably not be so easy. Of course, Link did not explain these details about the collection of talismans to the Lord. After getting the corresponding chicken talisman and sheep talisman magic from the Lord, Link said goodbye to the Lord directly. Then he returned to his magic room and began to learn flying magic and soul magic. Dad's antique shop. What? The talisman was taken away. Oh, it's taken away. The key is whether those guys have learned Dad's magic ritual. When Chen Long learned that the talisman in District 13 was taken away by a person who looked exactly like him, he immediately told Dad about the loss of the talisman. However, what surprised him was that Dad didn't seem to be very surprised about this matter. Chen Long said helplessly, Dad, how can you be so calm? Because the talisman is not important, no matter what, they will eventually fall into the hands of the Holy Lord. What we can decide is not whether the Holy Lord can get the talisman, but how long it takes to deal with the resurrected Holy Lord. No, even the Holy Lord is not a problem. The real problem lies with the black wizard named Danzo. Dad answered slowly. As he spoke, Dad took out the Holy Lord dragon scale that Link gave him not long ago. As a top wizard of the righteous camp who is very good at targeting, when he gets the flesh and blood of a target, the result is already determined. Even if the Holy Lord can be resurrected, it is difficult to stir up any waves. No, Dad, the Holy Lord is one of the 8 demons who rule Asia in legend. Legend has it that countless demons and gods have to submit to him. How can such a guy not be a trouble? Chen Long asked with a look of incomprehension. Quote. Well, Dad shouldn't expect you to understand, otherwise Dad would have asked you to learn magic from me. Seeing that Chen Long was still in a daze, Dad was speechless. But this is normal. Chen Long can't see the flow of the world's qi, so he can't understand the essence of the world. Xiao Yu. Dad was too lazy to continue talking nonsense with Chen Long, and called Xiao Yu's name. Dad, what's the matter? I have memorized 300 spells. Xiao Yu, with a burnt face, walked out of the study. Recently, she has been studying magic in Dad's private library. She was not someone who could calm down and study in a disciplined manner. It was torture for her to learn magic. Okay, Xiao Yu, I know you've been working hard recently. You've learned all the spells, and you need to test them. I'll give you a few days off now. You can go with Chen Long to collect the remaining 2 spells. Really, hearing her father's words, Xiao Yu immediately became energetic and said, Scout Xiao Yu, I promise to complete the task. Black Hand Mansion. A few days ago, Link sent Valone to look for the talisman, and he himself got some free time to practice magic in peace. For this reason, he deliberately dug out the black magic encyclopedia he had obtained from the Holy Lord a long time ago. This encyclopedia of black magic can be described as a true encyclopedia of black magic. At the time, he was limited by his own level and lack of extraordinary materials, which resulted in him being unable to use many of the black magic and potions. But now Link's magical attainments have advanced by leaps and bounds, and he is only one step away from breaking through to the realm of the Archmage. Naturally, he can cast most of the black magic above. Most of these black magic have never appeared in the original work. There is only one black magic that feels familiar to Link, and that is the magic that can turn people into dark killers. In a sense, the dark killer is actually a bit like a shadow soldier with a human body and more powerful combat power. The strengthened human combat power has entered the superhuman stage. He has immortality and the ability to control weapons with his thoughts, and has no side effects that affect his intelligence. But if the trio of Rasu were to become dark killers as in the original work, I'm still a little worried about whether it will affect their own treasure hunting physique. Anyway, with the shadow soldiers, there is no lack of strength. It's better not to transform the three of them, but to capture some dark creatures to try. Quote. Link muttered to himself. In the original work, the Lasso trio were almost completely reduced to the role of thugs after being turned into dark killers by Daolong. His ability to hunt for treasures was basically completely buried. In Link's opinion, this was a waste of the potential of the three of them. Anyway, the Dark Killer's own abilities include some control capabilities. Even if the dark creature is transformed into a Dark Killer, control can still be guaranteed. Dong dong dong. Just when Link was thinking about catching those dark creatures and transforming them into Dark Killers, the door to the room suddenly sounded. Link opened the door to the room, and Valone rushed in excitedly and said to Link. Boss Link, we found the trace of the talisman. We took the spell tracker and sensed the spell near an island farm in the south. As soon as we arrived, we received a leaflet for the Big Eater Challenge, in which the tiger charm was stuffed into the pie as a special prize by the organizer. Quote. What? Found it so quickly? Link's eyes widened. No, did they find the spell before I even had a few days of rest? Actually, it was mainly the shadow soldiers who were searching. Not only did they move quickly and have extraordinary endurance, they found the clues to the spell in no time. The more troublesome thing is that I also saw agents from District 13 near the farm. If nothing else, Qianlong and the others should also come to snatch the talisman. Therefore, I want to catch Qianlong and all the agents in District 13. Quote. Valon said viciously. Although he knew very well that Qianlong and others were key players in Link's follow-up plan and could not be killed, there was still no problem in teaching them a lesson. No matter what, he had to avenge Qianlong for destroying a warehouse, several cars, and who knows how many weapons. Then be careful, if there is any problem, ask the shadow soldiers to come and notify me. Link specifically warned Valone. In the original work, the confrontation between Wolong and Qianlong will basically not end well. Just like Wolong is Xiaoyu's nemesis in a sense, Qianlong seems to be Wolong's nemesis as well. Don't worry, Boss Link. I'm not going to use violence to kill Qianlong and the others this time. The current Black Hand Gang is a good company that abides by laws and regulations. This time we go to participate in the pie-eating contest, and we, the Black Hand Gang, just want to participate fairly. Quote. Valone said with an upright face. Although the term righteousness does not seem to fit well with Wolong, he did not want to use violence to solve Qianlong. The reason is also very simple. Under Link's guidance, the Black Hand has now begun to get involved in various industries. In addition to technology companies, Wolong also used funds to purchase internet companies, online shopping companies, etc. Today's mafia gang can no longer be called a gang, but a mafia group. This can make a lot of clean money, so what is there to do in the original dirty work? At the very least, the people on their faces have cut themselves off from these dirty jobs. Anyway, there is no need for people to do these things, the shadow soldiers can handle them. After listening, Link nodded. Okay, if you can ensure that you abide by the law, then Zhengqi won't be too specific to you. Anyway, just keep working hard. District 13. Due to the theft in District 13, Sheriff Blake was in an unusually bad mood. If the Holy Lord is resurrected in the end, then it would be the biggest mistake for him, the sheriff, to lose the talisman. We must find the talisman that is still wandering as soon as possible, and we must not let it fall into the hands of the Holy Lord. Chief Blake muttered. Just then the door opened and a senior agent walked in. He saw Chief Black, who was still worried, and said slowly, Sheriff, based on the photos you provided, we spent a lot of time and finally found the trace of the spell. The owner of the charm is a southern farm owner. The other party also planned to stuff the tiger charm into the pie used for the competition as a special Easter egg for the pie eating contest, and give it to the lucky person who eats the tiger charm. Quote. The agent said as he handed a photo to Chief Black. In the photo, you can clearly see a middle-aged white man wearing jeans, holding a shotgun in his hand, and a shot wild deer at his feet. And the pendant on his chest is the tiger charm they need. Why didn't you just get the tiger talisman back? Looking at the photo, Sheriff Black frowned and then asked. As the top officer of District 13, he has never been a person who likes to follow rules. In the original work, District 13 needs Chen Long's help. As a result, what he did instead of greeting Chen Long and asking for help was to directly stun Chen Long and take him back to District 13. God knows why Chen Long didn't feel anything wrong after he was knocked unconscious. After waking up, he hugged Chief Black directly. I don't know if his brain was damaged by Chief Black's drug. Chief Black, that farmer is not an ordinary person. He once served in the Marine Corps, with the highest military rank reaching captain. The previous method of following procedures and asking others to forcibly hand over items is not going to work. Quote. The senior agent said helplessly. Are you actually a soldier? Sheriff Black looked a little sad. It was really not easy for him to deal with a veteran with military rank. So, Sheriff, what should we do? Faced with the inquiry from his subordinates, Blake thought for a moment, and then said seriously. In that case, then you will participate in the pie-eating contest with Chen Long. It would be best if you can eat the tiger talisman. If you don't get the tiger talisman, then use the method of, borrow it and return it immediately, to get the tiger talisman first. We must not let it fall into the hands of the Black Hand. Quote. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Eaters Pie-Eating Contest on our farm. In this competition, in addition to the warrior who eats the most pies receiving our honors and farm products, we also prepared special Easter eggs to put into the pies. Quote. In the open space of a farm, the short and fat farm owner was talking loudly. On the wooden dining table for the pie-eating competition, there were 3 groups of candidates. The 3 batches of candidates or agents from District 13 led by Chief Black, Chen Long, and Xiao Yu. The mafia gang led by Valone and the beautiful king of food of the National University hired by foreigners. And the farmer's old friend, Mr. Green, an old man in his 70s. Wallen, you actually hired so many foreign aides. Sheriff Black looked at the 120 huge stomach kings sitting next to Valone on the second table, and his expression was a little ugly. Originally, he thought that he would be a sure success in recruiting more than 100 agents to participate in the pie-eating contest. What he never expected was that Valone, a rich man, would spend money to hire foreign aid without moral ethics. We directly invited a group of big eaters famous in the beautiful country to come over and help. This not only crushed them in terms of quantity, but also crushed them in terms of quality. Chief Blake, you're not a bad guy, you actually brought all your men here. Valone looked at the dense crowd around Sheriff Black, and couldn't help but secretly curse that the other party was also a cunning person. Fortunately, he had money and had made full preparations for revenge against Chen Long before this competition. Before participating in the pie-eating competition, he specially invited more than 100 foreign aides. Otherwise, you may not be able to out-eat the other party. Okay, it seems that all the contestants are ready, now the pie-eating competition officially begins. Seeing everyone in the pie-eating contest watching with eager eyes, the host was quite satisfied. He just likes this atmosphere where a fight is about to begin. There was a ringing sound. Valen, Sheriff Black and other people all picked up the pie in front of them at the same time and started eating it. It's just that although both parties are trying their best to eat, the agents led by Blake are obviously not as professional as the professional big eaters hired by Valone. There are not a few people who speak one sect, and there are even more people who can do 2 sects or 3 sects. Wallen, everyone, stop eating, just use a fork to check whether there is a tiger charm in the pie. Seeing the bravery of the big eater invited by Valen, Sheriff Black immediately felt that the situation was unfavorable and immediately ordered a change of tactics. If we compete fairly with the other party, the tiger talisman will probably be taken away by the other party. Despicable Black, you're wasting food. Seeing that Sheriff Black actually ordered to take the lead in wasting food, Valone looked at him with a look of disdain. Food is equal to money, and Wulong, who loves money, will naturally cherish every piece of food. And the people under him are indeed extremely capable. Even in the face of Black and others' despicable behavior of just using a fork to check the inside, the Big Eater still ate the pie faster than the other party. Compared to Valen and Black's crazy pie eating, Mr. Green, who was sitting at table 1, seemed much more calm and relaxed. After the game started, he neither gulped down the pie like Valen and others, nor didn't eat it at all like Sheriff Black and others, but just used a fork to rummage through the contents of the pie. He put the pie in front of him into his mouth and chewed it slowly, as if he just came to enjoy the deliciousness of the pie. Click. I seem to have bitten something crunchy. With a puzzled look on his face, Mr. Green put his hand into his mouth and took out a pair of dentures. And there is a tiger charm on the dentures. Thank you, I'll borrow the things and return them right away. Seeing the talisman appear, Chen Long took a leap to take the tiger talisman directly from Mr. Green, and then wanted to escape. Despicable Chen Long, you are doing this again. Seeing the despicable Chen Long doing this again, Wulong looked angry and wanted to lead the Black Hand gang to catch up. But they were soon stopped by agents led by Black. Hey, Valone, where do you want to go? Chief Black looked at Valen with a smile on his face. I don't think you want to attack the police. Of course not. I am a good and law-abiding citizen, so naturally I cannot do these things. A smile appeared on Valone's face. Now that their dirty hands have been cleared, they will naturally not attack the agents of District 13. But this does not mean that Wulong does not have any means to deal with Chen Long. He slowly closed his eyes and began to communicate with the shadow soldiers lurking around. Go and arrest Chen Long. The next moment, several black shadows chased Chen Long from the shadow under Wulong. Xiao Yu, run quickly. Just as Chief Blake was dragging Valone and others, Chen Long pulled Xiao Yu and ran away quickly. Seeing that he was getting further and further away from the farm, Chen Long's originally worried heart finally felt relieved. I should be safe now, right? Just when Chen Long was thinking this, a pair of hands suddenly stretched out from the shadow under his feet, tripping Chen Long to the ground. Chen Long lost his balance and fell heavily to the ground, and the tiger charm in his hand rolled to the ground. Several shadow soldiers appeared in front of Chen Long and Xiao Yu, holding the tiger talisman in their hands. It seems that it is not well yet, Uncle Long. Xiao Yu, who was standing by, saw the black shadow soldier and showed excitement in her eyes. This is the adventure she likes. Xiao Yu, what are you doing? Run away quickly. The fallen Chen Long saw that Xiao Yu did not run away, but was eager to try, and he could not help but shout anxiously. Don't worry, Uncle Long. Leave it to me next. Xiao Yu excitedly took out her red dried pufferfish. These days, she and her father have learned a lot of magic, and now is the time to practice. Do you also want to fight Xiao Yu? Monsters, leave quickly. Accompanied by the petite girl muttering. The red dried pufferfish in her hand suddenly emitted light. Boom boom boom. The next moment, several red light beams that were thicker than the green light beams that her father usually cast shot out from Xiao Yu's hands in an instant, instantly shattering the shadow soldier's figure. Ah, this. Looking at the majestic Xiao Yu, Chen Long's face was full of disbelief. He never thought that Xiao Yu would become so powerful now. It's okay, Uncle Long. We got the tiger talisman. Xiao Yu happily picked up the tiger talisman, and then walked to Chen Long's side and handed it to him. Now, Uncle Long should no longer think that he is a child, right? Xiao Yu did a good job. Uncle Long touched Xiao Yu affectionately, and then took the tiger talisman from her hand. However, when he held the talisman, he found that there was something wrong with it. He pinched the talisman. The tiger talisman slowly opened, revealing a small note hidden inside. There was a cartoon image of Wallen on it, and it was written on the side. Sorry, Chen Long, I borrowed the tiger talisman for a while, and I will return it immediately. Chapter 71. Is the tiger talisman a fake? Chen Long looked at the note in his hand and became slightly distracted. It seems that I have failed again. It's okay, Uncle Long. The talisman is not important. Even if the Holy Lord is resurrected, Dad has prepared a set meal for it. Ah. Looking at Chen Long, who was a little lost, Xiao Yu patted his shoulder. Xiao Yu, the resurrection of the Holy Lord is too dangerous. Although you have learned magic now, you are still young. I don't want you to be in danger. Looking at Xiao Yu, who was still not nervous or afraid, Chen Long said helplessly. Unlike Sheriff Black and Dad, who both have 100% trust in Xiao Yu's abilities. Although Chen Long also understands that Xiao Yu's ability is very important now, this does not prevent him from still worrying about the other party. He hoped that Xiao Yu would return to her parents healthily and safely after the New Year instead of dying in the battle of the Holy Lord's resurrection. Therefore, he still hopes that Xiao Yu can listen to him and learn to protect himself. When the time comes to deal with the resurrected Holy Lord, adults like them should bear the risk. The next morning, Black Hand Building. Link looked at the tiger talisman in his hand in surprise. So, you really succeeded in borrowing the tiger talisman from Chen Long. The information sent back from the shadow soldiers showed that Xiao Yu has now learned magic from her father. And because of her various weird identity blessings, her magic talent is not generally high. According to Link's estimation, perhaps the other party only studied for about a week, and the magical power he mastered was no less than that of an ordinary elite mage. With this level of combat power, he originally thought that Valone should ask him for help. I never thought that the other party could handle it all by himself. This performance really broke Link's stereotype of Valone. You must know that in the original work, Wulong vs. Chen Long, regardless of whether the process was difficult or easy, the final result was that Wulong failed. This time, his ability to take back the tiger talisman from Chen Long really surprised Link. In fact, if you think about it, Valone was once the leader of the world's largest criminal organization, and his ability to plan these actions is definitely not bad. It's not that strange if it succeeds once in a while. This is not a task that I can accomplish alone. It's also thanks to the help of your shadow soldiers, boss. Valen explained with a smile. Shadow soldiers have the ability to drag objects into the Shadow Kingdom and bring them into existence. He relied on this ability to steal the tiger talisman, and finally got the tiger talisman back. This was regarded as revenge for Chen Long's loss of countless properties. The good news is not just that, our gang members have already gone to the small town in Mexico you mentioned. It shouldn't take long to find that cute little mouse. Quote. Yeah, Link's face lit up, and then he said to Valone. After you find the little mouse, go hide for a while. In case the Holy Master can't find me, he will come and trouble you. Based on his understanding of the Holy Lord, the first thing he would do after his resurrection would definitely be to come and cause trouble for him. By then, Link would naturally want to hide. Leave all the trouble to professionals like Dad to solve it. That's it first, I'll go and deliver the talisman to the Holy Master. After giving some instructions to Valone, Link came to the Holy Lord with the tiger talisman. Good disciple, you are finally here. Seeing the familiar figure in Link's hand, the Holy Master's tone suddenly became a little joyful, as if his red eyes were about to turn into the shape of a heart. This is one of the key abilities of his resurrection, second only to the rat talisman. After obtaining the tiger talisman, this means that it is only the last step away from resurrection. I, the Holy Lord, am finally coming to life. Give it to me quickly. The Holy Master said greedily. Due to the greedy nature of his former apprentice, it originally thought that it would need to put forward some additional conditions in order to obtain the tiger talisman from him. But the next moment, Link reached out and pressed the tiger talisman into the groove of its body. Ah, so cool. For ordinary people, the tiger talisman is almost tied for the top 3 with the snake and sheep talismans, and can only divide people into good and evil halves. But for the Holy Master, the tiger talisman is the key to fully controlling his own power. It is precisely with the ability of the tiger talisman to adjust the yin and yang that the full power of the talisman can be fully exerted. Just the last piece left. The Holy Lord's eyes lit up, as if he had begun to daydream about his wonderful resurrection time. Wulong and the others have already sent people to look for him. But as you know, Master Holy Lord, the rat talisman was destroyed by Lope, and the divine power flowed into the body of the real rat. This thing is not as easy to find as the rat talisman of a dead thing. Moreover, District 13 has already closely monitored us. If you guessed it right, Chen Long and the others are also looking for it. You should know how difficult they are now. Just by Wulong, they may not be able to cast the rat talisman. Quote. Link interrupted the Holy Lord's reverie without mercy. Then I can only rely on you, my good disciple. If I can bring back this last piece of the rat charm, then I can give you my evil dragon." After hearing Link's reasonable speculation, the Holy Master said with some excitement. It already knew a lot about the battle for the Tiger Talisman through the shadow soldiers under its command. Especially the girl Xiaoyu was able to improve the power of magic to the level comparable to that of an elite mage after only practicing for about a week. This unnatural speed of improvement also aroused the vigilance of the Holy Lord. It had every reason to doubt whether Xiaoyu was the Saint Seiya supported by the righteousness of the modern era. If so, it would be unlikely to take the mouse from Valone alone. And now the only one it could count on was Link. "Do you want me to do it myself? Then I want it now." Hearing what the Holy Lord said, Link did not feel the slightest bit of surprise, but just asked the other party to give him the dragon now. "If I can summon the dragons under my command now, why do I need you to help find the talisman?" The Holy Lord said anxiously. His dragons were still sealed by Lopez. How could it summon the dragons if it didn't revive? Link said firmly, "If you don't give it to me, I won't help you find it." He must have thought that it would be a fantasy for him to get these evil dragons after the Lord was resurrected. Therefore, he must get them immediately. The Lord was silent for a while, and said helplessly, "How about this? I will tell you how to remove the seals of those evil dragons, and you can do it yourself." "Okay." Link's eyes lit up and he nodded quickly. The reason why he asked the Holy Lord for his evil dragon was, on the one hand, to follow the principle of sustainable development, so that he could continue to obtain extraordinary materials from the evil dragon. And on the other hand, he wanted to try to see if he could turn the evil dragon into a dark killer for his use. According to the original work, the stronger the person is, the stronger he will be after becoming a dark killer. Then the evil dragon should be even more powerful when it becomes a dark killer. And the yin and yang balance magic corresponding to your tiger spell, go find the mouse for me as soon as you finish learning it. The Holy Lord looked at Link's face full of longing and snorted coldly. "Thank you, Master Holy Lord. When I finish learning it, I will personally go and help you find the mouse." Link took the magic scroll and said casually. In fact, even if the Holy Lord didn't speak, he planned to go there in person. After all, according to the original work, the location of the mouse was an underground temple of Mayan civilization, which also contained a statue of Quetzalcoatl. If Valone and his companions accidentally angered the mouse during the process of catching the mouse, causing its divine power to explode and revive the Quetzalcoatl statue. At that time, it is uncertain whether Valone will be beaten to death on the spot. After all, Quetzalcoatl, as a good god, does not deal with the guys in the dark camp. Moreover, it is uncertain whether Xiaoyu and Chen Long, who have now learned magic, will start to act again. What if the Quetzalcoatl with poor eyesight recognizes Xiaoyu as the Mayan goddess again? At that time, Valone will definitely not be able to deal with Quetzalcoatl and Xiaoyu, and he will have to do it himself. "Good disciple, I am relieved to have you here." The Holy Lord smiled happily. Although this shameless disciple of his family would actually set his sights on his own people, the Holy Lord felt that it didn't matter. Anyway, it can even betray its brothers and sisters who are also the 8 demons. It's okay to give it to some of the evil dragons under his command. Anyway, in the eyes of the Holy Lord, nothing is more important than its resurrection. With Link going out personally this time, its resurrection seems to be stable. Think about it carefully. This stinky brat doesn't seem to have done anything bad to me except being a little greedy. The Holy Lord thought to himself. It felt that it was a bit too much to want Link to be a slave for 16 hours a day. I still have some feelings for this apprentice, so after it is resurrected, it will only let Link work 12 hours a day. Alas, there is no way. This dragon is kind-hearted, and all arrangements are reasonable. Don't worry, Master Holy Lord, Link still does things after taking things. Looking at the Holy Lord laughing, Link also laughed. Anyway, he really didn't hold back when helping the Holy Lord to resurrect, and he could say that he had a clear conscience. As for whether the Holy Lord would be sealed again after his resurrection, it had nothing to do with him. After saying goodbye to the Holy Lord, Link habitually came to his magic room and read the magic scrolls with ease. As one of Link's most important spell magics, the yin-yang balance magic corresponding to the tiger spell did not disappoint him. This magic can not only adjust its own state and balance the spell magics that conflict with each other. It can also make the body able to accommodate black energy and positive energy at the same time without conflict. This is something that is almost impossible under normal circumstances. After all, black energy and positive energy are like natural enemies. When they meet, they will fight each other and must suppress each other. Even strong men like Daddy or Daolong who have already stood at the top of the magician cannot cast the magic of the other camp. According to Link's estimation, among the humans in this world, Xiao Yu is probably the only one who can attract positive energy and black energy at the same time and let them live in peace. As for Toru's apprentice Iso who appeared in the subsequent extra chapter, although he also mastered positive energy magic and black energy magic at the same time. But it is obvious that his personality is seriously affected by black energy. From this point of view, he is not as good as Daolong who has been cultivating black energy magic for many years. It is even more incomparable to Xiao Yu, the son of destiny who can make both righteousness and evil do good. But for me who has no righteousness investment now, this function is not very useful. Link muttered to himself. He is now a person in the black camp, without any righteousness in his body, so naturally he does not need magic to balance. Compared with balancing the righteousness and evil in the body, the biggest improvement of yin-yang balance magic for Link is that it allows him to use various spells at the same time. Now you can try to go to the palace of the Holy Lord to see if you can unseal the evil dragon and transform it into a dark killer. Link silently mobilized his own magic power. The next moment, his eyes lit up with rabbit and chicken patterns respectively. His body floated gently in the air, and then only heard a bang. He flew quickly to the east. So fast. This combined with the extremely fast flying magic is already faster than a normal plane. 3 hours later, Link looked at the wilderness in front of him with great satisfaction on his face. The previous flying magic was too slow, not much faster than a normal person's running speed. You must know that this is the age of science and technology. If it were placed in ancient times, the effect of this flying magic would be extremely huge. But in modern society, although flying magic cannot be said to be completely useless, in most scenarios it is indeed not as convenient as flying directly. After only a few attempts, Link decided that if he needed anything, he would just choose to take Valon's private jet, which was more trouble-free and time-saving. But now that he has the yin and yang balance magic, he can cast the magic corresponding to rabbit and chicken at the same time, thereby achieving the purpose of flying at extremely high speeds. All of a sudden, the practicality of flying magic soared. In addition, the practicality of other single spells has also been improved to a greater or lesser extent. For example, when the huge strength corresponding to the cow can be combined with the extreme speed corresponding to the rabbit, you can ensure that your attacks can successfully hit. The snake charm can also be used with the great strength of the cow to carry out sneak attacks and so on. If we talk about the improvement brought by the previous spell magic to Link, it is just a number. The improvement brought by the yin and yang balance magic is like a multiplication sign, doubling the practicality of each spell magic. Then quickly unseal the evil dragon. Link couldn't wait to take out his dragon-headed staff and cast magic. A scorching breath instantly filled the wasteland, and evil dragon figures appeared in front of them. Unlike ordinary people who should be grateful to their saviors, these evil dragons are obviously on the same side as the Holy Lord. Instead of feeling any gratitude at seeing a savior like Link, he directly sprayed out dragon flames to attack Link. This is a group of shameless guys, and they actually attack their saviors. It seems that now we have to turn you into dark killers and train them. Link frowned slightly, a dragon shadow flashed across his eyes, and he immediately blasted a pirated dragon flame. With just one blow, the evil dragons immediately became more honest. An hour later, Link couldn't help but nodded as he looked at the evil dragons who had been subdued by him and looked aggrieved. Are you being honest now? Don't refuse my magic, do you understand? Ouch! The evil dragons roared and understood. Looking at the 3 evil dragons in front of him who had become honest and honest, Link decisively followed the spells in the Encyclopedia of Black Magic and began to chant. A strange mist slowly emerged from Link's staff, and then poured into the dragon's body. As a special rune slowly appeared on the dragon's head, their body turned into brown skin. Those bodies that were a little malnourished due to being sealed for too long have become muscular, and they are like a dragon version of the Dark Killer. Jump up, sit up, fly. Link tried several command tests on the dragon. It turned out that this dragon version of the Dark Killer not only understood his orders, but his obedience was no worse than that of the Shadow Soldiers. Perfect. Link nodded slightly. This dragon version of the Dark Killer is definitely more powerful than the original Rasu trio. As for whether it can be compared with Afu's Dark Killer version, it still needs to be considered, but it will definitely not be too different. This can be regarded as adding strength to the fight for rats later. Link muttered to himself. The strength of Quetzalcoatl is not low, and it can be said to be almost on par with Daolon. In the original work, although when he first fought against Daolon, he was tricked and locked in the barrier by the other party. However, Quetzalcoatl won the subsequent battle against Daolon. Link's judgment of his own strength is almost at the level of the Black Chi Archmage, and he should be about the same in a head-on confrontation with Quetzalcoatl. The remaining Xiao Yu, Qianlong and others who have learned magic can only be left to the Black Shadow Soldiers and his dragon version of the Dark Killer. Dad's antique shop. Dad, I'm sorry, we failed again. Qianlong said apologetically. Just as he was about to continue apologizing, his father interrupted him directly. Qianlong. Where is Dad's hot tea? Do you want Dad to die of thirst? Coming. After hearing what his father said, Qianlong quickly brought a plate with sandwiches, coffee, hot tea and other food on it. Dad picked up the hot tea, took a sip, and then spit it out. Ouch, do you want to burn Dad to death? I'm sorry, Dad, please try this drink. This cup is not bad. The father took 2 sips of tea and said to Qianlong, Qianlong, you and I have told you many times that the resurrection of the Holy Lord is inevitable. The reason why I asked Xiao Yu to go with you is simply to let her experience it, so that she can see who is on the Holy Lord's side. Quote. After the last confrontation with Link, Dad has confirmed that the black energy wizard named Danzo must be the person beside the Holy Lord. The reason why he let Xiao Yu go over was because he wanted Xiao Yu to have a fight with that Danzo, to see if he could see the other person's true face. It's a pity that Danzo is indeed cautious enough. In this tiger talisman, the opponent not only did not appear, but also allowed Wolong to successfully bring the tiger talisman back. Dad's original plan just came to nothing. This Danzo is really a cunning guy. He didn't even show up during such a crucial fight for the tiger talisman. The father sighed. Now the Holy Master only needs the last rat charm to complete the resurrection. You should try your best to make one last attempt. If I guess correctly, Danzo should appear in this last operation. All you need to do is to find out his true identity. As for giving him the spell, it doesn't matter. Quote. Nowadays, the momentum of black energy is becoming more and more unstoppable. The resurrection of the Holy Lord is basically irreversible. But for the Holy Lord, Dad is actually not too afraid. He has already prepared a meal for him. Once it is resurrected, he can immediately turn it into a statue. Compared to the Holy Master, Dad still cares more about Danzo. Even if you can't figure out what he wants to do, you must at least figure out his true identity. Thank you, Dad. I will definitely succeed this time. Qianlong took a deep breath and said solemnly. Don't worry, leave it to us, Dad. Those shadow soldiers are no match for Xiao Yu. I promise to complete the mission this time. Xiao Yu also looked extremely confident. Wallen's movements are always so quick. After subduing the evil dragon, Link was about to have a meal when he received a message from Valone about the talisman. Boss Link, we took the spell tracker and went to the town you mentioned, and we actually found it. Originally, we still wanted to go in directly to look for traces of the talisman. But boss, you specifically warned us that there might be danger. So, we didn't get into it. Wolong introduced the current situation to Link. Because Link was previously worried that the mouse would directly activate Quetzalcoatl in the underground temple, and then attack Valone and others. Therefore, they did not take immediate action in the area where they were located. Instead, they spent money to secure the silver mines around the town and waited for Link's arrival. According to the terms of the transaction, all the ores and creatures in the silver mine belong to our Black Hand group. But Boss Link, you have to hurry up. Because our special surveillance of Dad's antique shop also found that they started to pack their luggage. I guess they also found the trace of the rat spell and planned to come to snatch it. Do you need me to send someone to stop them? Quote. Wallen asked Link with a twinkling eye. Although the other party must be riding in the armed helicopter of District 13, he still has the means to prevent them from taking off. The reason why he went there himself in the last battle for the Tiger Spell was that he hoped to contact some agents in District 13 to try whether anyone was willing to betray. And the facts proved that after all, there were still a small number of agents who succumbed to the charm of Valogne's money and were willing to help Valogne when necessary. No, I also want to test Xiao Yu's strength. Quote, faced with Valogne's proposal, Link said slowly. The world of Chen Long's adventure is a world of yin and yang balance. According to the special rules of this world, Link has specially planned 2 stages for his strength improvement. The first stage is that he himself must occupy all the black energy shares, thereby ensuring the full strengthening of eating the black energy. After completing this, the second stage is to start cultivating people in the righteous camp, so as to use the improvement of righteousness to drive the improvement of black energy, and achieve the improvement of strength in the left foot stepping on the right foot. The key to the second stage lies in Xiao Yu. As a contemporary Saint Seiya and Mayan goddess, Xiao Yu is undoubtedly the leader of the righteous camp in the future. Link is also very concerned about the growth of the other party. Mexico, La Plata town, silver mines. It was already midnight. The silver mine, which is still bustling during the day, becomes much quieter at night. But one of the large-scale silver mines lit up slightly. Ah Fen, boss, this is the location of the rat talisman we detected through the talisman tracker. Rasu, speaking of which, boss, why did you come here looking like Boss Valogne again? Joe, idiot, this means that the boss wants to do bad things. When the boss wants to do bad things, he doesn't like to use his own identity. The trio of living treasures were talking to each other, while Link listened with a dark look on his face. You can't speak, so you don't have to speak. Toru and AFU, who were on the side, were obviously very emotionally intelligent. When they saw Link's face turn dark, they quickly interrupted the trio's speech. It's okay, what they said was right. Link sighed, he had to admit that the living treasure trio was half right. Because he really doesn't want his true identity to be exposed to his father and the others. Those righteous wizards are best at targeting people. Didn't you see how Daolong was targeted by his father in the later stage? No one else could have his super-enhanced ultimate dark killer be taken away by his father with a magic spell. What would happen if his true identity was discovered by his father? So you have to be careful. It seems the boss is angry. Oh, I'm sorry, boss, I didn't mean to say bad things. Okay, I understand, now it's better to take me to the underground temple you discovered. Link said somewhat speechlessly. He shouldn't expect to hear anything good from these 3 living treasures. After hearing Link's order, the living treasure trio immediately showed a flattering smile and led Link towards the underground temple. Not long after they entered the cave, Chen Long and Xiao Yu, led by the local Mexican Niu warriors, came to this silver mine cave. This should be the location of the rat talisman. Because the surroundings were too quiet, Chen Long deliberately lowered his voice in order not to be discovered by the Black Hand, according to Sheriff Blake's investigation of Wallen. Recently, he used the money from the Black Hand group to buy this silver mine. Come down, the last rat charm should be here. Black Hand, Niu warrior's expression was a bit complicated. In other words, I am very likely to meet the person who took off my mask last time. After the Black Hand seized the talisman, the Ox warrior realized that his power was really false. And just as the man said, he had to file the sacred wrestling ground in his heart. The collapse of his self-confidence and his disgust at self-sullying the wrestling ring made him depressed for a while. It wasn't until Chen Long and Xiao Yu came to him to encourage him that he cheered up. Niu warrior didn't really hate the man who made him realize who he was. But he also wanted to prove to that man that even if he lost the cow talisman, he, the cow warrior, was still the same cow warrior. So, Uncle Long, what is our plan? Xiao Yu asked curiously. Dad said that because the body of the rat talisman was destroyed by Lope, its divine power should have entered the body of the most noble rat in the world. The Black Hand is so powerful that we may not be able to deal with it. Therefore, we need to use the power of the rat spell to find some foreign aid for us. As Chen Long spoke, he opened the suitcase next to him. The suitcase was filled with Super Moose dolls. Uncle Long, you actually bought so many Super Moose. Seeing a whole box of Super Moose, Xiao Yu's eyes lit up like light bulbs. Super Moose is a world-renowned big IP, with its own comics, toys and theme parks. Just a toy figure costs several hundred meters. Then a large box of Super Moose might cost tens of thousands of dollars. Uncle Long is so rich. Ahem, I didn't buy this, Chief Black helped purchase it. Chen Long said with some evasive eyes. As far as he knew, given Sheriff Black's habits, these Super Moose might have been borrowed from somewhere. Then when the action ends, I'm going to ask Sheriff Black to give me a Super Moose. It should be okay. Arrive. While Chen Long was chatting with Xiao Yu, Link took the spell tracker and led the trio of living treasures to the location of the underground temple. Wow, this is actually an underground palace made entirely of silver. Now Boss Vallone will definitely not lose money if he buys this place. Maybe we can get some more salary increases. Looking at the shining silver palace around them, the three living treasures all had their eyes shining brightly. Such a large all-silver palace must be very valuable. True and AFU on the side didn't react much. They were trained by Vallone as combatants and were well trained, and they were still on guard. There are some mechanisms in many underground palaces, and they want to ensure that Link's safety will not be threatened by these mechanisms. In their eyes, Link is a fragile mage who needs protection. So, where's the mouse? Link looked around, and his eyes quickly focused on a white mouse on the ceiling. Hiss. Just like humans living in war-torn areas, they are more sensitive to danger than those living in peaceful areas. Animals are even more sensitive to danger. Before Link did anything, the white mouse responded. As the reflection of the rat spell flashed in its eyes, the color of the silver Quetzalcoatl suddenly became brighter. Its eyes stared at Link and others. I feel the power of darkness from you. It immediately mobilized its own magic power to condense the sunfire and aimed it at everyone. But before it could release the sunfire, a flash of lightning flashed in Link's eyes, and it was instantly knocked away. Leave the Quetzalcoatl to me, you guys hurry up and run away with the rats. After repelling a wave of attacks from the Quetzalcoatl, Link frowned. Originally, he wanted to avoid conflicts with the rats as much as possible, so when he first came in, he did nothing. But the white rat still sensed the danger and triggered the power of the rat spell. In this case, he didn't need to be polite to it. As the image of a chicken flashed in Link's eyes, he immediately grabbed the white mouse out of thin air and stuffed it into the pet box of the three lively people. Boss, I promised to complete the task. The three lively people also sensed the danger of Quetzalcoatl and ran away with the pet box containing the mouse. However, just as they ran out of the underground temple, they bumped into a group of people who were about to come in. The pet box in their hands also fell into the hands of the other party. Ah, Chen Long, give us back the mouse spell. Looking at the familiar figure in front of them, Lisu and others immediately drew out the electric sword and wanted to take back the mouse. Xiao Yu looked at the pet box in her hand with a smile on her face, and then threw it on Chen Long's suitcase. Beep, beep, action moose. Isn't it right? How long have you been separated from your status as a combatant? Why are your bodies now so weak? Or did that righteousness trick Xiao Yu and the others again? Seeing the Lisu trio colliding with Chen Long and actually losing the pet box in their hands, Link, who was still fighting Quetzalcoatl, was speechless. After all, the three of them are also elite figures who used to be gangsters. Although Link subsequently withdrew them as combatants in order to better utilize their treasure hunting talents, he did not expect that the physical fitness of the three of them could be so bad that they could fly away at a touch. Beep beep beep, moose action. Along with that, the white mouse with supernatural power landed on the suitcase that Chen Long was carrying. The box full of Super Moose suddenly came to life, and under the command of Xiao Yu, launched an attack on everyone in the Black Hand Gang. In response, Link quickly summoned the Shadow Soldiers to fight these Super Moose toys. The combat power of both sides was basically balanced, and they were evenly matched for a while. Chen Long and Niu Warrior faced off against Tru and Ah Fu respectively. Hey, you took away my mask last time, try again this time. The Bull Warrior saw the familiar red hedgehog head and rushed towards Ah Fu without saying a word. Ah Fu unknowingly helped Link take the blame. But Ah Fu was not repelled by being able to compete with strong men. Seeing the Ox Warrior charging towards him, he was not surprised but overjoyed. Although I don't know what you are talking about. But since you have met me, Black Tiger AFU, then prepare to die. Look at my overwhelming power. I saw him jumping into the air like a cannonball, and his strong body like steel slammed into the bull warrior, sending him flying several meters. Ox warriors are never afraid of any challenge. The Niu warrior, who had been superflied, shook his dizzy head, but still couldn't concentrate, so he simply gave up thinking and rushed towards Afu again. Perhaps he has realized that he is only one step away from the resurrection of the Holy Lord, and his righteous actions are becoming more and more obvious at this time. During the battle, Link could see a steady stream of righteous energy pouring into the bodies of Qianlong and Niu warrior, strengthening them. At the beginning, the two of them would be suppressed by Toru and AFU. But with the continuous influx of righteousness, it became easier for them to deal with True and AFU. Hey, Toru, actually, you don't have to work for the Black Hand. Our treatment in District 13 is also very good. We have donuts every Monday. Qianlong kept mumbling while dodging True's attacks. He could sense the kindness in Toru's nature and wanted to convince him to join them. As the 13th district good. But I know that your 13th district will force others to help, and even force some people to hand over their own things. At least we gangsters know how to give money, True said sarcastically. Hearing True's words, Qianlong was speechless for a moment. Although Sheriff Black is a nice person, he is an agent of the beautiful country after all. Even when he originally invited himself to help, Chief Black's method was to use mist spray roughly. That's not to mention anyone else. Speaking of benefits, why don't you join our mafia group? Not only do we have 7 insurances and 2 funds, but we also have 2 weekends off every week. District 13 probably doesn't give you such good benefits, right? True, in turn, launched a campaign to persuade Qianlong to surrender. Ah, is your mafia group that rich? Qianlong couldn't help but look shocked when he heard the benefits of the mafia group described by True. District 13 gave him a consultant position. The money he can receive is not fixed. Basically, he is given a bonus once for completing a task. And if True wants to join District 13 and become an agent, he will still need to undergo a period of internship training. Only after he has passed the training and is qualified to become an official agent will he be eligible to start receiving money. As for the amount of insurance, it is impossible to have as much as the 7 insurances paid by the mafia group. Now that I think about it, Toru seems to have no reason to join District 13. In fact, you can also do it for justice. As Qianlong talked, he couldn't speak anymore. Asking him to give up the favorable conditions and join District 13, isn't this the same as asking someone to jump into a pit of fire? Qianlong, how dare you speak of justice? If I remember correctly, this silver mine should belong to our Black Hand group. According to the law, everything in this silver mine belongs to our mafia group. You now want to steal the property of our mafia group. Believe it or not, our mafia group is suing you for robbery. Quote. While Qianlong and True were fighting and talking, Ah Fen, who was standing aside, suddenly spoke. Hearing these seemingly professional words coming from Ah Fen's mouth, Zhou and Lisu looked at him with shock in their eyes. Isn't it, Fen, is this what you usually say? How did you become like this? Facing the extremely surprised looks in his 2 companions' eyes, Ah Fen scratched his head in embarrassment. Didn't the boss want us to sign up for an economics class? When I went to that cram school, they were doing activities. Sign up for an economics class and get a law class. He said that it might be useful if I want to pursue a career in accounting or the like in the future. I thought this free class would be useless if I didn't learn it, so I just took it. Quote. Zhou, but Qianlong and his team should be considered as non-staff members of the 13th District agents, right? Do they also need to abide by the law? Lisu, but we are in Mexico now. Can the agents of the United States touch my Mexican property? The Lisu trio spoke one after another. The more Qianlong listened, the more he felt sweaty. I just wanted to borrow the mouse, not to own it. There was no need to treat him like this, right? No matter what you say, I will never let you get the mouse. Qianlong took a deep breath. He knew he was in the wrong, and he was ready to take the mouse back even if he had to go to jail. What he didn't know was that when he made such a realization, the righteousness that was originally flowing into Qianlong's body seemed to be cut off at this moment. When he himself did not think that what he did was completely just, the righteousness could not continue to help him. Hurry up and give me the talisman. Chen Long took the initiative to attack True, but True easily resisted and grabbed him directly. Don't worry, we are all law-abiding citizens. We won't use heavy hands on you. We just want you to have a good sleep. Affan put his hand on Chen Long's shoulder and took out an electric baton. Ah, accompanied by the electric current of the electric baton flashing endlessly. Chen Long felt numb all over his body and fainted on the spot. Uncle Long. Seeing Chen Long in a coma, Xiao Yu exclaimed and quickly ran over to check Uncle Long's injuries. Don't worry, little girl. Your Uncle Long is just unconscious. We don't want his life. Rasu looked at Xiao Yu, who looked nervous, and quickly comforted her. Before they took action, Link specifically warned them not to harm Chen Long and others, so as not to affect the subsequent actions of the other party to seal the Holy Lord. Yes, we gangsters are all good people. Zhou was smiling, but his eyes under his sunglasses looked at Xiao Yu full of vigilance. He heard from Hualong that Xiao Yu learned magic from his father, and that the other party's magic qualifications were very high. What if the other party suddenly attacks them because of Chen Long's injury? The mouse is in my hands now. If you don't want anything to happen to the mouse, you should send Uncle Long to the hospital quickly. Xiao Yu wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and suddenly said coldly. The Lasso trio suddenly felt a cold breath from Xiao Yu's body. At this time, Link also noticed the changes in Xiao Yu. Unlike the Rasu trio, who were all mortal, Link could see that the surrounding black energy was continuously pouring into Xiao Yu's body, and the amount of black energy that was pouring even exceeded him. Isn't it? You were so proactive when you saw Xiao Yu showing signs of darkening. Is this how He Qiqian acts as a dog licker? I didn't even give up my face to get Xiao Yu to join the black camp. Seeing this scene, Link said helplessly to the Rasu trio, take Chen Long to the hospital quickly, don't worry about me. This Quetzalcoatl statue is not my opponent yet. In the original work, he had a deep understanding of the terrifying extent of Xiao Yu's blackening. It's better not to have this happen. Yes, after receiving Link's order and sensing Xiao Yu's terrifying aura, the Lasso trio immediately took the unconscious Chen Long and Xiao Yu on their private plane to a nearby hospital. Wait a minute, my princess, we must fly to the sun together, so that we can bring moisture to the earth and protect it from the power of darkness. When Quetzalcoatl saw Xiao Yu leaving with Lasso and others, he immediately waved his big wings and wanted to catch up. Unexpectedly, just as it took off, Link's laser eye struck and stopped it instantly. Quetzalcoatl, if you are blind, stop talking nonsense. If you really take Xiao Yu to the sun, I'm afraid you will suffer the revenge of the righteousness and blackness of the world immediately. Link said with a speechless expression. Xiao Yu is the son of destiny among the sons of destiny in this world. The savior, saint, and shadow queen who can let go of both righteousness and blackness at the same time. Even though he had read the original work, he didn't know exactly how many secrets were hidden in Xiao Yu. He suspected that even if Quetzalcoatl really took Xiao Yu to fly towards the sun, he would probably be the only one unlucky in the end. Devil from hell, you just want to prevent me and Goddess Maya from bringing a good harvest to the world. Facing Link's words, Quetzalcoatl looked fierce, and instantly condensed the fire of the sun and blasted towards Link. But the next moment, a shadow of a dragon flashed across Link's eyes. Dragon blast. Only a bang was heard, and Quetzalcoatl's flame was directly swallowed by Link's flame. Impossible. What kind of flame is this? Quetzalcoatl looked at the scene in front of him with disbelief. His own flames would be swallowed up by other flames. This was something he had never seen before. You must know that his flame is not an ordinary fire. As the god of sky, agriculture, and the sun, the flame he controls is the fire of the sun. How could a flame of this level be swallowed up by other flames? This fire should be regarded as the original demonic energy of fire. Link replied as the action continued. Extreme speed. Julie. At the moment when Quetzalcoatl was stunned, the shadows of rabbits and cows flashed in his eyes. His body turned into an afterimage, and instantly appeared next to Quetzalcoatl, and then he punched hard. It's just an ordinary punch, but it contains infinite power. Quetzalcoatl didn't even see the figure, and was instantly knocked away by Link, slamming into the wall of the all-silver hall. So fast, so powerful. What kind of move is this that can actually hurt me as a god? Quetzalcoatl was obviously confused. It doesn't know that it is actually a statue that can move because of the power of the rat charm, and it thinks that it is still a legendary god. That's why it looked so confused when it lost to Link's attack. Because you are just a statue. If you are willing to surrender now, I can take you to find the rat charm and change you back to your original form. But if you still resist, don't blame me for being harsh. Quote. Link looked at Quetzalcoatl and said calmly. Judging from the current battle with Quetzalcoatl, his evaluation of himself still seems to be somewhat unobjective. Maybe he himself is stronger than he thought. It's like the dragon blast he releases can swallow up the sun fire of Quetzalcoatl. Although his magical attainments are definitely not as good as Quetzalcoatl, Daolong and others, the magic he masters is the original magic of the Holy Lord, and his rank is high enough. Even if I can't fly to the sun with the goddess Maya and bring moisture to the world, I will never bow to you, a devil from hell. Invincible Vine. Dragon Blast. Quetzalcoatl's hands emit golden light. A cage made of vines enveloped Link. But the next moment, this cage made of plants was destroyed by Link the moment it was formed. Not only that, Link also continued to use extreme speed magic to avoid Quetzalcoatl's solar fire, and at the same time used Dragon Explosion, hitting Quetzalcoatl accurately with every shot. Although Quetzalcoatl is strong, it cannot withstand Link's continuous consumption. Devil! Quetzalcoatl roared angrily. It had realized that if it continued to play with the opponent, death would be the only thing waiting for it. So it flew directly towards Link. As long as it got close to Link, it would still have a chance. Too slow. Laser eyes. Looking at Quetzalcoatl flying towards him quickly, Link's eyes instantly shot out a laser. Although the laser eye corresponding to the pig is not as powerful as the dragon blast, it is worse than the extremely fast casting speed. In the blink of an eye, the laser pierced Quetzalcoatl's chest. Without blood, am I really a statue? Quetzalcoatl looked at his empty chest and felt lost. It finally realized that the other party was right, and he was indeed a statue. Bye now, Link said softly. His next dragon blast completely destroyed Quetzalcoatl's statue body. Looking at the fragments of Quetzalcoatl's statue, Link was silent for a moment. Just then, his phone rang. He answered the phone, and Rasu's voice came from the other end of the phone. Boss, Chenlong's health is fine. And Xiao Yu didn't cheat this time. She really gave us the mouse. Xiao Yu just gave the mouse to you. In a hotel in Mexico. Link looked at the pet box in his hand with surprise. Based on his stereotype of Xiao Yu, she should be smart and take the mouse back. But why did she suddenly give up? Lisu, boss, don't look at me, I don't know. Affin, she not only gave us the mouse, but also a bag of pet food. Joe, it is also possible that she realized that we had no ill intentions. I don't know, could it be that Dad knew that the resurrection of the Lord was inevitable, and letting him resurrect earlier could solve the trouble earlier? Link thought for a moment, but still couldn't figure it out. Since he couldn't figure it out, he simply didn't think about it. Anyway, now that the mouse was in hand, their goal had been achieved, so they just went home. Early the next morning, Link held the mouse talisman in his hand and returned to the Black Hand building with the 3 lively people. With his current magical attainments, it was easy to extract the power of the rat spell from the rat. He didn't dare to keep this troublesome ability of turning stillness into movement on a rat. What if the rat resurrected some strange statue again? What should we do then? Wallen, clear out all the people in the Black Hand building first. I also need to talk to the Lord about how much benefit this last rat spell is worth. As soon as he returned to the Black Hand building, Link went straight to Valen and spoke slowly. This might be his last chance to blackmail the Lord. If nothing unexpected happens, with the Lord's character, he should turn his face and attack him the moment he is resurrected. In this case, it is better to clear out the people in the Black Hand building. Yeah, Wallen nodded. He also knew what Link was going to do next. So, he quickly called on his men to completely clear out the entire Black Hand building. After everyone was evacuated by Valone, Link slowly pushed open the door on the top floor of the Black Hand building. Master Saint, I brought you the last rat spell. Link took out the rat spell and shook it in front of the saint. Sure enough, the moment he saw the rat spell, the saint's light bulb-sized eyes flickered again. It's the last spell. I know you will succeed, my good disciple. Give it to me. The saint looked at the rat spell in Link's hand and was so excited that he wanted to grow another pair of hands to snatch it away immediately. Wait, Master Saint. But just when the saint was extremely excited, Link took a step back. It was precisely because of this step that the saint suddenly had an ominous premonition in his heart. Link, you are not going to cheat me of something again, are you? Tell me, what do you want? The saint frowned slightly. He knew Link's actions very well. It's nothing more than wanting to get more benefits from it. It's true that Link is born evil. He just calculated that he only needed this last and most important rat spell to revive, and he wanted to make a fortune. In the eyes of the Holy Lord, Link once again changed from a half-evil and half-meritorious person who helped him revive to a greedy little devil who only wanted profit. After a moment of silence, the Holy Lord forcibly suppressed his inner anger and asked, I don't have anything you need now. If you insist on wanting good things, then I can give you another one of my dragon teeth. You should know that dragon teeth are one of the ways for the Holy Lord to revive. Paying a dragon tooth is already a huge price for the Holy Lord, which is equivalent to giving a small part of his life to Link. Dragon tooth. Master Holy Lord, since I know that dragon teeth are your means of resurrection, do you think I am someone who would care about your means of resurrection? Link said with a face full of grievance. Then what do you want? The Holy Lord's expression stagnated, and he couldn't figure out what Link wanted. Could it be that there is something Link wants on him? There shouldn't be anything good in his memory. Master Saint, I heard that when the 8 immortal gods sealed your brothers and sisters, they also stripped away some of their magic. I want to know how to absorb the magic and be immune to magic affected by magic. Looking at the confused saint, Link got straight to the point. In the battle with Quetzalcoatl, he used the saint's trace of origin to cultivate the dragon blasting flame to devour the opponent's sun fire. At that moment, Link clearly realized how high the status and priority of the saint and other 8 demons' origin abilities were. Even if he only borrowed a little of the saint's dragon scales and dragon teeth to cultivate the flame, the intensity of the flame exceeded the extraordinary fire of Quetzalcoatl. In this way, the remaining magic of the 8 demons is very necessary to collect. Although the demonic energy will not gradually take over the consciousness of the ghost general living in the mask once it is used, like the ghost mask, it will also affect the personality of the absorber to a certain extent. What Link wanted to ask the Lord was whether there was any way to get rid of the interference of this demonic energy on himself. It turned out that Link's attention this time was not on himself, but on the demonic energy left by his brothers and sisters. The anger in the Lord's heart suddenly subsided a lot, as long as he was not targeting himself. What brothers and sisters, aren't they used to betray? Let me think about it. In fact, the Lord had also peeked at the abilities of his brothers and sisters. Just like the magic of the chicken spell was created by it based on the original gravity magic of its elder brother Zulin. It also had greed for the evil spirits hidden all over the world, and even created a variety of magic that could control evil spirits. But in the endless years, the Lord lost the spell for too long, resulting in his condition being better than those brothers and sisters who stayed in hell, but also very limited. Many memories were buried deep in the corners of his memory, and he had to spend a lot of energy to dig them out. Perhaps under the temptation of the rat spell, the Lord's stone head worked quickly. After a while, it thought of a magic that met Link's needs. Ahem, I do have some magic that can control the evil spirit and prevent it from interfering with the mind. After saying that, the Holy Lord's eyes flashed with lasers. In no time, he wrote down the magic that can control the evil spirit on the desk in front of him with lasers. Thank you, Master Holy Lord. After writing down the magic that can control the evil spirit on the desk, Link smiled slightly. Then we can talk about Dragon Fang next. Holy Lord. Link, what do you mean by this? Didn't we agree that we only need to give you a magic to control demonic energy? Hearing this, anger burst out from the Holy Master's eyes. Do you know that you are dishonest? Master Holy Lord, how could I not be trustworthy? Facing the Holy Lord's wrath, Link not only showed no fear, but instead looked aggrieved. The main reason is that the magic you gave me to control the demonic energy is too crude. Isn't this just an ordinary magic to seal the demonic energy? What I want is to be able to freely control demonic energy without having to worry about magic that affects my mind, not this seal-breaking magic. Quote, What is ordinary magic to seal demonic energy? Do you think it is so easy to seal demonic energy? The Holy Master said with excitement. You are a human being, not an inherently evil demon. The influence of demonic energy on human beings is not that easy to eliminate. This is the only magic I have that allows you, a human, to control demonic energy. Quote, the Holy Lord is one of the 8 demons, and he has a certain resistance to the erosion of demonic energy. Naturally, he has not researched too many ways to control demonic energy. The sealing magic it gave Link was just something it casually studied when it was studying the magic left behind by the immortal gods. But that doesn't mean the magic is inferior. This sealing magic is equivalent to a switch that can turn on the magic energy at any time. If Link needs to use the power of the demonic energy, he can instantly remove the seal on the demonic energy. If the power of the demonic energy is not needed, the demonic energy can be sealed instantly. This kind of instantaneous sealing magic is quite advanced even among the magic mastered by the Holy Lord, but Link actually has the nerve to dislike it. It's too ordinary anyway. I want a dragon's tooth. Link acted like a rogue, obviously blackmailing the Holy Master. After all, this is very likely to be his last time to blackmail the Holy Lord. If he doesn't extract more money, wouldn't it be a loss? The Holy Master wanted to get angry, but the desire for resurrection finally forced it to calm down. You can want dragon teeth, but you must sign a contract with me before I am willing to give them to you. After what happened just now, in the mind of the Holy Lord, Link's credibility has now hit rock bottom. This untrustworthy evil brat has no honesty or responsibility at all. Only by signing a contract can he rest assured. Okay, but you have to give me a good dragon's tooth, not that kind of decayed tooth. Link nodded. In fact, he was also afraid that the Holy Lord would be dishonest. Dragons don't have cavities. The Holy Lord snorted coldly and did not continue to argue with Link. Then it condensed its own mana and threw a contract in front of Link. Link opened the contract and examined it carefully. Perhaps he was worried that Link would find something wrong with the contract and choose to terminate the deal. This time the Holy Lord didn't play any tricks. The content of the contract is very simple. The Holy Lord uses dragon teeth and the corresponding rat charm magic in exchange for the rat charm in his hand. There is no loophole to exploit. Make a deal. After confirming that there were no problems, Link signed his name on the contract. The next moment, the 2 contract chains were integrated into the bodies of Link and the Holy Master respectively. Seeing this scene, the Holy Lord snorted coldly, and then summoned the shadow soldiers in displeasure. What he held in his hands was a magic scroll and dragon teeth. Seeing the magic scroll and dragon teeth, Link showed a bright smile. Don't worry, Holy Lord, as we all know, I, Link, am the most trustworthy. After that, Link first handed over the magic scroll and dragon teeth to the shadow soldiers controlled by him to take them away. After doing all this, he slowly inserted the rat talisman into the only vacant groove on the Holy Lord's body. Boom! As rays of light flashed from the Holy Lord, its originally stiff stone body became soft and full of vitality. Even the body shape has changed with the integration of the talisman. What started out as a stone statue of a hovering dragon transformed into a muscular demon with a dragon head and a human form. Compared to the huge figure of the Holy Lord, what makes Link more concerned about the big pants on the Holy Lord is whether it is made by magic, or does it come with it. My Holy Lord is finally resurrected. The Holy Lord let out a cheerful roar, and the sky across the world seemed to dim. Flames gathered around it, looking extremely majestic. Master, Holy Master, congratulations on your resurrection. Feeling the strong sense of oppression emanating from the Holy Lord, Link pretended to be honest and obedient and said, Master, Holy Lord, what you said before about letting us rule Asia together again is still true, right? Keep your word. The Holy Lord's scarlet eyes stared intently at Link. You brat, you dare to deceive and blackmail the great devil, I will make you pay the price. From now on you will be my slave, work for me 24 hours a day from now on. Quote. The Holy Lord smiled ferociously, raised his hand and grabbed Link's figure. With the complete power of the rabbit talisman, its speed was unimaginably fast, and even Link had no time to react. However, the next second, when the Holy Master's claws touched Link's body, only a bang was heard. Link's body turned into a ball of white mist and disappeared. The Link who had been talking to the Holy Lord before was not Link at all. What kind of magic is this? I don't remember that there is such a magic in my magic encyclopedia. Link, you don't even dare to show your true body in front of me. The Lord roared to the sky with disbelief. It never thought that Link actually had this trick. This kind of high-level magic with special uses, even it has never mastered it. What surprised the Lord even more was that Link seemed to have already realized that he might attack him. Otherwise, he would not have sent a fake body to contact him. Link, this kid, it seems that I still underestimated him. Could it be that he also knows my character and doesn't keep his promises? Knowing that I will definitely attack him after I am resurrected, he sent a fake body here. The Lord snorted coldly. Although it was unhappy with Link's performance, it did have to sigh that Link's style of doing things was indeed somewhat similar to its own. However, even if Link can hide for a while, he can't hide forever. It wants to turn the whole world into its kingdom. By then, it would like to see if Link, the little devil, can still hide. I will go and free my evil dragon now, Link, just wait for me. Thinking of this, the Holy Lord sprayed flames directly at the wall, blasting out a huge hole, and then flew towards his palace. At the same time when the Holy Lord was resurrected, the old man in the antique shop saw the black air between heaven and earth surging wildly, and his face was full of solemnity. Oh, the Holy Lord is resurrected. Is this a natural phenomenon, or is the Holy Lord resurrected? Looking at the hell-like sky, Qianlong's face was filled with shock. Is the world going to be destroyed like this? He had never seen such a scene in his previous life experience. The unusually ominous aura in the sky made even a person with slow perception like Qianlong feel the changes between heaven and earth. This was the first time he felt the power of the legendary devil. Can they really stop such power? Uncle Long, don't be discouraged. You still have the dragon team by your side. And I, the smartest one. Everyone in District 13 is also ready. Let's go. Xiao Yu clapped her hands, and a large group of agents wearing white robes suddenly appeared beside her, each of them looking respectful. Xiao Yu, okay, Qianlong, it's time for us to leave. Dad interrupted Qianlong mercilessly. You are just not as clever as Xiao Yu, so I won't let you participate in the ritual of sealing the Holy Lord's magic. It takes a while to prepare the magic to seal the Holy Lord. During this time, you can just cast magic for us to delay the time. Quote. Qianlong was somewhat unconvinced when he heard his father say that he was not as clever as Xiao Yu. But he really didn't have any objection to his father's arrangement. He was similar to Sheriff Black, both knew nothing about magic, so it was more suitable for him to help delay time. So, where are we going now? Qianlong asked. The Holy Lord should be heading to its palace in Shangjiang now, and when the time is right, it will release its evil dragon minions. Of course, this does not rule out that it is willing to pay a certain price to open the seal of the evil dragon's minions in advance. Quote. Dad said with a serious face. In short, we'd better rush to the Holy Lord's palace as soon as possible. Lest it summon those evil dragon minions in advance. Dad said with serious eyes. It is already extremely difficult to deal with a holy master who has collected 12 talismans. Not to mention, if it summons those evil dragon minions. At that time, it would be too difficult for him to complete the magic ritual and defeat the Holy Lord under the attack of the Holy Lord and the evil dragon's minions. Even my father can't guarantee that he can successfully seal the Holy Lord. It would be great if that guy Danzo could show up to help during the battle to seal the Holy Lord. Will he come to help? Dad thought silently in his heart. Although he didn't want to admit it, Danzo, the black energy wizard, was indeed very powerful. If the other party is really willing to take action, it will be much easier for them to resist the Holy Lord's offensive. Dad feels that Danzo will come. After all, based on Danzo's previous behavior, it was obvious that he did not want to see the resurrection of the Holy Lord. Ding dong. Just then, the antique shop bell rang. Hearing the bell, Dad also knew that time was running out and he had to go to the palace immediately. Oh, Qianlong, stop dawdling. Let's set off now. The next moment, he packed up all the props needed to cast the spell and headed to District 13 in the black police car prepared by Chief Black. Try to get on the plane from District 13 as soon as possible and rush to the palace before the Holy Lord. Finally here, my palace. The complete Holy Lord looked at the huge open space in front of him, waved his hands, and a simple and luxurious palace rose from the ground. At the same time, black energy poured into the Holy Lord's body crazily, making its power increase again at this moment, as if it wanted to help the Holy Lord rule the world. I will bring destruction to the world. Come out with my dragon minions. Feeling the powerful power emerging from his body, the Holy Master tore into the void with both hands, instantly tearing a hole in the space in front of him. It's not stupid either. The big noise of his resurrection will definitely attract the attention of a large number of righteous mages, and those righteous mages may come to trouble him. This opportunity for resurrection is hard won. It was almost stripped of its pants by Link, and even gave the opponent 2 dragon teeth used for resurrection. Therefore, it must release its evil dragon minions as soon as possible, help it rule Asia as soon as possible, and eliminate those righteous mages. In the center of the palace, a space with evil light and shadow slowly opened. Come back, my minions. Bring destruction to the world. The Holy Lord roared excitedly. However, just when the Holy Lord thought that his evil dragon minions would come over to greet him kindly, the space door was open for 5 minutes, but not a single evil dragon came out. Strange, what's going on? Where are my evil dragon minions? Looking at the empty space gate, the Holy Master looked confused. Why are so many of his evil dragon minions missing? Could it be that they starved to death after not eating for too long? It can't be that they were all taken away by Link, right? Are my own evil dragon minions so spineless? The Holy Lord suddenly thought of a possibility. In fact, it originally promised Link to teach him how to unseal the evil dragon's minions. It was also because he knew that his gang of evil dragon minions were pissy, so they shouldn't all turn to Link. Perhaps their IQs may be slightly lower, but they are definitely loyal to themselves. My followers will not betray me. Could it be that Link killed all my dragon minions and chopped them into extraordinary materials? Thinking of this, the face of the Holy Lord became distorted. The anger towards Link in his heart swelled more and more. However, even without the dragon minions, it is still confident that it can rely on its own power to turn this world into its kingdom with all the 12 spells. It is one of the 8 legendary demons, and the Lope statue has been solved by Link. There is no righteous wizard in the world who can deal with it. It doesn't matter if the dragon minions are gone, anyway, the modern world has completely entered the technological age. This era will definitely not give birth to a Saint Seiya like Lope. I am still invincible. In short, let's start from here and gradually transform the world into a paradise suitable for dragons. The Holy Lord opened his strong arms. In an instant, the black air of the world instantly overwhelmed the righteousness. A pillar of fire shot up into the sky and instantly dyed the sky within 100 miles of the Holy Lord's palace with a touch of hellish brown. Dad, Uncle Long, look there. The sky here is simply the color of hell. In the distant 13th District Special Plane, Xiao Yu looked at the scenery outside the window and exclaimed, her eyes full of worry. Her parents live in Hong Kong. If the Holy Lord wants to destroy this place, her parents will be in danger. This is a magic that the Holy Lord has mastered that can transform the environment. It wants to turn the whole of Asia into an environment suitable for evil dragons to live in. The knowledgeable father said seriously, we must act as soon as possible. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.